Everybody, welcome to another episode of Fourever Rivals. How's everyone going? Yeah, we'll do the Charlie and then we do the Casbolt. How we going, guys? You got the big Scotty Tompkins in the house. How are you, mate?
Yes. Thank you very much, Rocco. Glad to be here, mate. What a big week of footy it has been. And things are really only just starting at our beloved Carlton. As much as I thought that I was getting burnt out on this shit, they pull me back in. And
every time I think I'm out, I get dragged back in.
That's it. And yeah, silly season. It's just starting early, I believe. And yeah, I can't wait.
Fantastic, man. It is silly season, but there's always plenty to talk about. And we've got the big Liam there. How you going, mate?
Mate, we are doing lovely, mate. We're all pumped up. That theme song at the start, it always gets me going, man. I love it. So we're excited.
I tell you.
It's a banger, mate. I want to get it on my Spotify.
What's that? Yeah, no, I can see that. Actually, that's you just keep talking. Someone is barking.
Jeez.
Well,
I believe you can follow our feed on Spotify, Liam, if you want to listen back to these episodes after the fact. Or just the first 7 seconds on loop.
Yeah, play that on loop.
And then we've got, sorry, I missed that. That dog was going spastic. It's very hungry and they're about to feed her. And we've got Marco. How are you, Marco? Glad to see you back, mate. Bad to see you back. I'm glad that, the Bombers, they are absolutely a basket case, but you are always front and center there, mate. I love it.
Always showing up, buddy. Always trying to show up, mate. Good evening, boys. Good evening to the chat. And looking forward to obviously tonight's show. But quickly before we go on, boys, all right? I just want to say and congratulate my nephew Ryder and the under-12s Victorian Metro footy team in winning the state championship in Queensland over the last week. Undefeated.
Congrats.
They beat all the states and they ended up taking the cup, mate. So well done, boys. Congratulations to the under-12s Vic team. Go the Melbourne.
Yeah, that's more finals than the Bombers have won in about 25 years now.
Fantastic, mate. Big rider. Your brother, good friend of mine, Daniel. I love Daniel. That's his son. He's under 12s, and apparently he's got a bit of talent there. So good luck, man, and well done, man. And congratulations.
Good to see the Victorians win the state championship, mate. So,
mate, that's fantastic. I know that he went up there, and I know that your brother went up straight after the funeral and all that, but he had the thing. So, hey, maybe just a little bit done for your for his auntie, yeah. Just a bit of how you going there, mate.
They did wear the armbands. They did wear the armbands for my sister for the first game. But I think they played about 7 games in a row. Every day they played.
Yeah.
And they beat every state undefeated. And they won the flag by, I think, about 5 or 6 goals. So, fantastic. State championships, Victoria, Metro. Go the boys.
Congratulations,
Mark. Fantastic, man.
I couldn't help but notice, Rocco, there's a notable admission from tonight's panel.
I was going to say, very well put. Yeah, there is have you noticed that? There's a notable admission from the finals maybe this year, right? And that person has followed suit and doesn't think that it's necessary to come on the show. Yeah. So where's Manny? Yes, where is Manny? As I said, their team sliding. Where's no regrets? Hope everyone's going to hang around for a sec because we're going to have a say about what no regrets had to say. So, yeah, where is no regret? I'm sure he's watching. But, yeah, Manny isn't no show. I'm actually getting sick of him just showing up whenever he wants or when his team plays well. So, yeah, there might be some changes coming on in the future, but we'll announce a lot more, you know. Like, I don't like freeloaders on this show. I like some hard-working. This is a hard-working channel here, mate. We don't take any freeloaders, but
anyone's replaceable, Rocco.
Everyone's replaceable. And Manny, you're a big scumbag. While we're here, we have got some chat. We got only Carlton, $7.99. Thank you very much. You're a star, mate. Here's another $7 for the baby oil for Rocco's head. How is that, man? That's looking good, mate.
One's in the chat for Rocco Diddy.
Rocco Diddy, yes. If everyone watches the other shows, they know exactly what's going on. And while we're here, and look at this for a segue. Look at this for a segue. Look at this, like $5. I'm going to Remix Mania on the 29th and most likely to TJP live show on the 30th of this month. Looking forward to the Blues and Power game at home. Yes, we're kind of looking forward to that. But definitely, thanks first of all. Big Oz, mate, he's a great contributor to the show. But yes, while we're here, let's have a look at that. First of all, let's have a look at this one here. Mate, make sure you get down there. You support the big bow. I'm sure tickets they are selling very fast. It's at La-di-da, Remix Mania. Get down there. Get your tickets now. The link is below. It's on the 29th on the Friday. It's going to be great, mate. You get down there, there's going to be plenty of music, plenty of drinking. We'll all be down there. It's going to be a massive weekend. Trust me. You don't want to miss this, do you? You don't want to miss this. We're all going to be there. And, yeah, it's going to be a fun night. And then you're all going to hang around and we're going to do this shit here, right here, mate. FEVOLA, Scotland, PEARCE, up on stage. Monday Blues, up on stage. 8-course roaming meal, plenty of people, bar prices for your drinks. I don't know what else to say about this show. Tickets are selling fast. It's going to be great. Everyone can get together. We can have a lot of laughs. And listen, at the end of the day, ex-players, no matter what team they play for, when they get up on stage, man, they've all got great stories to tell, man. So I think it's going to be, I know Liam's going to be there. I hope Mark's going to be there. I know Scotty's going to be there 100%. So we're all going to be there. Monday Blues, all the Jumper Punch crew, we'll all be there. And, like tickets are selling. We've even got Rocco from Perth coming down with his family.
No way.
Yeah. He's coming. He's already got his tickets. He's coming all
Mr.
the way.
Moro, if you got an Airbnb, let me know because I need a couch to sleep on.
All the way from Armadale, mate. Oh, boy.
Somewhere for you to stay down, Scotty. I'm sure you're going to have plenty of places to sleep. Plenty of girls are going to be offering their a little bit of accommodation for you, I reckon. What do you reckon, Scotty?
I know. I haven't talked to a girl that isn't my mum, my mate's girlfriend, or like Lana Owens and Matula is in about 8 months. So
it's fantastic. Nah, there's going to be plenty, man. Mate, it's going to be a great night. So thanks for everyone in the chat. We've got everyone's in there. We've got Bomber. We've got a Bomber here. Bomber Pete, he's been up there. Go to Mighty Bombers. So good to see you there, mate. We'll be talking about the Bombers soon. We've got Lou Felino. I met him at the footy, actually. No regrets will be a no-show. Oh, yeah, we know that because he's full of shit, right? But let's get on to that. So, no Manny tonight. We've got Rocco. Here he is, Rocco Moro. Here he is, mate. He'll be coming down with his wife and his daughter. So, yeah, so that'll be good. Everyone's waiting for no regrets. Where is he? I can't see.
He's rushing back from the servo, topping up his LD mobile SIM just so he has enough data up there in the Fitzroy Commission Tower.
Exactly, mate. We got Frankie72 here. Manny's at Kmart Auto. Get his new wheels because Collingwood's wheels have fallen off. I love this. So we'll be talking about that too, mate. I did say they won't win a game for the rest of the year 3 weeks ago. So, and Mark, I'm going to have to say, Marco, absolutely comes up with some gold during the year. But he did say that, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, he just said, just wait. Long season. I don't think they're going to make the top 4. He did say that. So
let me correct you. He said the top 8. He
yeah,
said
he did say the top 8, and that could still happen. You know, that could still happen. But
It can happen. It is still
if
possible.
Brisbane hadn't stuffed it, I was throwing shit at the wall. It almost would have been locked in, but Brisbane just had to make it slightly more interesting.
There you go. He's staying at the Mantra on Little Collins Street, so he's got everything booked and ready. It's going to be a big
It's
night.
just a short walk. He can get full legless. Oh, no, for the wrestling show. Sorry.
And yeah, I suppose it's in Brunswick. No, that's all right. Ubers are cheap. Yeah. We can get up and down, so it's going to be really, really bloody good. I'm actually pumped for in 2.5 or 3 weeks' time. It's going to be such a weekend, man. We can all catch up, and you know what? Especially for us 4 here, it's footy season will be over, and we can just like let loose and just have a good time and forget about the pain of footy that gives us every week, you know. So that's it. Yes, you're absolutely right, Lana. No regrets has no guts. Simple. It's simples. It's simples. Where is he? I can't see him in the chat. Don't worry. You asked me to clip some stuff for you, and that I will, my friend. All right, I think we get on the show. But before we get onto the show, I've got something special. Does everyone want to see this?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Get ready for this, guys. Get ready for... Wait, I got what's going on? I got to find it. Let's get ready for this, guys.
Oh.
3, 2, 1. Rocco's rant.
This is what we're going to do. This is what we're here for. So there was someone who came on last week trying to be smart there. Let's just start with this. How about this little bit that he left? Let's have a look at this.
Let me talk. I know it's your show. This is not a democratic, okay? We can't talk. We can put our opinion. So let me talk.
No, this is my house.
Zip your mouth. I need to talk. I have to talk about my team.
All right, go talk. But all I want to do is about your
don't run a show where you can't let people make opinion. Don't be a lefty, okay? So let me talk about my team.
Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. So what I'm going to do, so everyone gets my attention, right? I'm just going to remove you, and remove you. So it's all on me. I've got a message for you, brother. I've got a little message for you with absolute rubbish that you've been speaking. And let me tell you something, right? Let me spell this out for you nice and slow so you can maybe understand it, so it sinks in. See, this isn't a public park where any clown can rock up, flap their guns and thinks that they've got the right to hold court. This is my show. I built it from nothing over the 5 long years. Blood, sweat and tears, time, money, sacrifices that you can't even imagine. And while you were sitting on your couch scrolling your phone, I was grinding, putting in the hours, building in the audience, earning the respect and carving out the platform people actually want to watch. You don't get to waltz in here like you're some big shot and start calling the shots. You wouldn't walk into my house and dare put your filthy boots on my coffee table and start telling me how to run it. And you sure as hell don't do it here. This is not a democracy. This is not a debate club. This isn't your soapbox. This is my platform, my rules, my say. You want your own space? Well, guess what? Go out and build it. Go and spend the years, the sleepless nights, the money, the stress, the grind. But we both know you won't do it because it's a hell of a lot of work, and it's easier just to sit on someone's coattails and have an easy talk. Here it is, the reality. You're in my world, and in my world, it's my rules. I hold the keys. I call the shots. And if you think you can test me, you'll find out real quick that when I play to win. And in my house, I don't lose.
Damn. Bro just got cooked.
Right.
Don't you fuck with Rocco Diddy.
Wherever the fuck you are, right? Come on here and let's have a debate, man. But as I said, man, this is my house, my rules. If you don't like it, off you go. Build your own product, mate. Build your own product. This is you don't come on here and disrespect the show and disrespect the people on the show because you think you have a right to have your say. Not here. You got no rights. Just like my dad used to say, you got no rights here. Go and build your own house, and then you got every right you want. So how's that go, right? But while you're there, you big banana, let's hear some of your rubbish that you have to say.
Wow, Jordan, how good is Jordan the Gooey? In full game, trust me. Everybody forgetting Jordan the Gooey.
Who the fuck is the Gooey?
The Gooey, my soul boy.
Who is the Gooey? Let's hear about this one here. How are you going to win the game, mate? How are you
Also, their midfield is not that good. Their forward is just too tall and really slow. Their smalls are not really. What is it?
So you reckon Hawthorn's going to win? We're going to beat Hawthorn by how many points?
5 goals.
Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. He also, and then you go to him, why are you doing this to him, right? Why would you just clip him?
Excuses. We'll start winning against Hawthorn. And this one, hey, Rocco, clip it here, yeah? I'll be back. We win these 3 games left.
He asked me to. He asked me to clip him. He asked me to clip it. How do you like that? I'll give you one more, the Gooey. While you were watching the game, how bad is it that I live rent-free in your fucking head? Every goal that Hawthorn kicked, I came into your head. Every single time. That whole night, all day. And the only image I had of you was this.
Keep crying.
Oh, man.
Now,
And where is he?
I've been off the chat. Where is he? Don't worry, because when he does come on, I'll play it again.
He's in. He's in.
I've spotted him, mate.
He says he loves it. Thanks, Rocco, for the video.
Yeah, thanks for the video. Let's have every moment, I must have been in your head, the rent-free, eh? Rent-free.
Keep crying.
Oh, mate.
So if you do want to jump in later, you remember, mate, you bow, you show me respect, or I'll get rid of you quicker than I get rid of the chewy on the bottom of my feet. Just remember that, brother. You have no rights here. 0 rights. Nothing. No democracy. Nothing here. I run this. This is my house. Like my dad used to say, this is my house, mate. This is my house. You big loser. When did you come in? Okay? You only come in now because you've been baked. I'll put up the link later. Let's see what you got to say. Thanks for coming, guys. And remember, we're here for this. I don't need you for views, brother. It's not all for views. Don't try to make it sound like you did something. It's not all for views, the gooey, right? You come on trying to be smart, and remember, you have nothing. You got nothing. You know what? If I get rid of you now, no one listens to you. This is the only platform that someone can actually have. I've actually got control who listens to you. How bad is that, mate? Wow. All right, let's do this. Marco, What's the
How are you,
first
fella?
thing on the agenda?
That was a fantastic rant there, Rocco, mate. Jeez. I was starting to get set back a little bit. I'm thinking, far out, it's going on tonight, mate. Wow,
I'll give
we.
it to you too, man. If you get smart, I'll give it to everyone, man. I'm like my dad. My dad, when we were kids, right? If one kid did something wrong, everyone copped it. He didn't. There was no favoritism. Just everyone copped it. Then everyone started to know that no one better fuck up because we're scared here. So yeah, everyone better be on their best behavior here.
No, look, I mean, I'm pretty sure Marco here can let that go a little bit, mate. If I'm going to say something or do something, Rocco, I'm pretty sure you'll give me that advantage there, mate. I've been on the show.
I've got a rant waiting for you too, mate. I got one waiting for you. I got one for Liam.
Look, I was going to mention. I was going to mention something about apparently there might be a possibility of having a set of origin next year for some particular reason. So just quickly, I just thought maybe we'd just speak about whether it should be put on, or are we really going to see the best players on the ground, or is it going to be the second tier players? I think it's before the start of the season, so is it a risk to some of these key players? I don't know. I'd watch it, to be honest. I'd watch the game, but are we going to get the best players in the comp to be playing State Origin? So, I mean...
All right, before we go on to the other two, I'll ask you a question, Mark, right? Your best players in your side. I know you haven't got many, but you got one or two, right? Would you want them to play at the start of the season?
I wouldn't. Sorry, I wouldn't, because the competition is too valuable now these days. So you're taking a big risk of a player, your best player, or a couple of players to be playing, and if there's an injury, mate, it's gone. And these days injuries are so easy to come by. So I wouldn't risk it.
Well, you would know.
Sorry,
you would know.
Yeah, you would know.
Yeah, this year you would know with injuries 100%, man.
Yeah, too much, and it doesn't work. So, like I said, I wouldn't mind watching the game, but I think, what players are going to put on the field is going to be a completely different story. Is it worth it?
Well, Mark, when you look at the example from this year, the Indigenous All-Stars game, which unfortunately for them, they've been tossed aside for the latest flavour of the week, but they fielded a full side from players from all over the country, as well as a full-strength Fremantle side. Fortunately for both of them, there were no real injuries incurred. But, I mean, if you just want to make the best case scenario or the best case argument for them, I mean, if you're concerned about injuries, you can get injured at training. You can get injured getting out of bed. If they want to have a preseason hype up like this, apparently that's what people are looking for. They have to explore their options. Everyone's always hearkening back to the good old days. Nobody had a big deal about it back in the golden age. So, why not give it a go now? The real question is...
Well, you're taking a big risk, aren't you? You're taking a big risk by putting your best player...
I think from an Essendon standpoint, how many of your players are really going to get picked?
It's not about Essendon. It's about the rest of the competition. Like, would you want to risk your player playing State of Origin before the season even starts, mate? That's the key to it. Do you want to risk your player playing State of Origin for what particular purpose? What's the reason for it? To be a bit of Victorian side and Queensland or South Australia, Western Australia? Would you put your best player before the season in a competition that may possibly cause an injury to that player?
For once in my life, I kind of agree with Mark, right? If this isn't 20 years ago, we're paying players big money, especially Carlton. We play players that are no good big money, right? But we're paying them big money. And then you're going to play them in a game that means nothing. Like, it means that if you're not playing for 4 points, the game means nothing. It means zero. It means nothing. What are you going to get out of it? So they can get ratings up? Like, I personally, They said that people want this. I haven't seen who wants this.
Advertisers do, corporate sponsors do, of course. If we want to be completely cynical, my personal opinion is like I don't really see the point in it. There's no real pride in our nation or even from the states that we're from. So even though I guess you say, what are you playing for? You're playing for pride in your state, but nobody really, I don't know, identifies that way anymore. The country's been so homogenized with how much the players move around anyway. Like, Paddy Cripps, he's from WA, but do we really consider him as somebody from Perth or where the fuck farm he's from? He's a Carlton player, you know?
Yeah. Look, and I'll get Liam into this, but he asked you, Mark, Rocco Moro, they can get injured in a scratch match, in a sim. And
we've seen that. I've seen it right before my eyes with Jagger Smith against St Kilda.
All of us, and I absolutely agree with that. They can get any injured, right? But that's not the point. That's setting you up for the season. What is the state of origin for? Like, there's no need for it, and plus, state of origin will go next level. Do you really need it? To me, if we do a scratch match, that's preparing my team for the season ahead. When we train, that's preparing my team for the week ahead. What are we doing? It's not rugby where it means something, where they get their state of origin. Man, their state of origin almost means more than their grand final, right? That's how much it means. But for us, it means nothing, mate. I'm telling you. Liam?
Look, so on the injury chat, I do agree to a part. It does. You don't want to be risking your players, particularly your best players, to potentially get injured. But as other people have obviously covered, you can get injured anywhere. You can get injured in training, other practice matches. Yeah, there's heaps of ways that you can do it. So that's why I do understand the argument, but I'm not all for it. As far as does state of origin mean anything, I feel like it does. I think you got to remember, I was just getting it up before, the last time Vic and WA played against each other was 92. So it's 34 years ago if it happens next year. But obviously the interest has gone since, but I mean,
because we have,
it's going to come through and come back because we haven't seen it. I've never seen it before. So someone like me, I think it would be exciting to see. And also just kind of point, but for all of us, grand final.
Is he breaking up, Liam?
It's
breaking up, Liam.
I know our
breaking
team's
up.
Be there. Is it not working?
Breaking up. Yeah, you're breaking up a lot. But anyway, keep going.
What's happening?
While you're there trying to do that, I'll tell you one thing. State of origin, a long time ago in the 80s, maybe early 90s, in the 70s, meant a lot. You know why? There was hardly any interstate sides. Adelaide didn't have sides in there, and then it was different. You had Victoria v Adelaide, and it meant something, right? But I'll tell you right now you're playing an interstate side. We're playing Port Adelaide this week. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, it's what you're trying to say. And the other thing I noticed when we used to watch the great state of origin games, Adelaide and Victoria, the game where Kernahan kicked 10 goals, right? And half of them were on Bruce Dool. When he played those games, right, I wasn't going, I wanted Victoria to win. I was looking at Kernahan. He was our player. I was looking at, and then you had like Bradley running around. I was looking at him. You know what I mean? I didn't care about South Australia. But I was wrapped when they got the ball. At the end of the day, they win, they lose. The next morning, I'm not even thinking about it anymore. Yeah. To me, it doesn't mean anything. This is just a money-making thing that they want to do. I don't see any use in it. That's just my opinion, but
Yeah,
I don't
and
think it means
that's the thing, Rocco. If they do pursue it next year, you're not going to get the best players playing.
Exactly.
You're going to get some good players. Don't get me wrong, but you're not going to get the best Victorian players playing in that
No
game.
way.
So it's a spectacle to go and watch it and see some of these. Maybe do an under 25s or an under 22s Victorian team against Adelaide's Victorian stateside and see maybe how that goes. You know what I mean? That might be more interesting than picking the best players, but the best under 25s or best under 22s.
Yeah, I reckon you probably would get the best available. I'd be interested to know whether it's purely up to the player's choice or whether the clubs can say, look, we know how much you'd love to, but no, you play for us. We determine where you play. But if it goes fourth, I mean, yeah, I really wouldn't give that much of a fuck. But as a proud Victorian, I wouldn't pass any chance to mog all these other irrelevant states like WA, Queensland, South Australia, Tasmania. Any of them walk up on any day in Victoria would turn all of you mutts inside out. And don't forget, Melbourne is the true capital of Australia. Don't you ever forget that.
Well, I think there'll be a few people in the chat who would disagree with you there, but like as I said, I think a lot of these people in the chat, probably around about my age. Lana says, I'd rather watch a Legends game. I like the Legends game, and you know what?
That's on next week.
Yeah, and they are. It is too. You're right. There is a Legends game on the 24th or something, and I'll tell you one thing. They were getting more and more serious over the years. So there was some good footy we were watching there, But, we were seeing like the Bruce Dools, and all them playing. And as I said, Nailey ripping Victoria a new asshole, Bradley running past all the Victorians. Man, I used to love it. I didn't care about Victoria. I just love seeing Bradley, mate. He's my player, So to me, it's a no. It's a flat out no. And the other thing is you're not going to get the best players. But I'm telling you, people are recovering, getting ready they've had operations over the season. You know what I mean? They're not risking your best player. I guarantee that the club's not going to say you have to play this game. I guarantee who's going to be playing? All those B and C graders. You might get one or two in there. Is that a real state of origin? Come on, bro. Liam, you're back.
Oh, yeah, we're back, mate. We are back.
In 2 seconds, Liam.
Can you guys hear me all good, though?
Yeah, you're sweet, bro. You're sweet
now.
Right, sweet, cool. Yeah, it's still a bit dodge on this end, but look, I don't know. I think that's the only problem that I have with the state of origin is that if we're gonna do it, you kind of want it to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
But reality is, it's not going to be the best of the best. Yeah. You're not going to put your best team out there, especially that close to the season. Like I said, yeah, injuries you can take that into account. It may not happen, but why risk it if you don't have to? And I think, like Rocco was saying before, it's not like you're playing for points. It's not like you're playing for a cup or anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Zero.
So that's the problem that I have. I want to ask you guys, do you think it would be better to have it? So I think the one that they're planning is about a month out from the start of the season.
Yep.
Would you prefer it to be a month
after
the season? Does that change it at all? I don't know.
When did you say? At the end of the season?
Yeah, so I think it's planned to be a month before the season starts or around then. Would you guys prefer it if it was like a month after the season or still no?
So then what's happening then? See, it's no matter when you play it, it's always an issue, right? So if you play it a month after grand final, what happens is most people are on their break because they have their month off, right? And then some are coming back. Some have been drinking for the last 4 weeks, right? Then you're going to get these players, and then you're going to get people coming in. They're not prepared. Are you going to chuck them into a match that's like almost full on because they get competitive, right? So you're going to chuck your players in there. So that's not a good time. Do you do it straight after the home and away? But then you got teams in the finals, so they're not going to play their players. I guarantee they're not playing their players.
Absolutely.
You can't play it during the mid-season break, right? Because that's the time teams use it to, rest their players and do shit like that. So there's just scrap it. Forget about it. How about you worry about other things that we need to do? Like, forget about this extra game that you want to play, right? How about you do more Thursday night games and how about you put more games on free to air on a Saturday night? How about we worry about that? How about you make pies $2, you bloody tight asses, right? Instead of like $10. Why don't we do things like that? And I don't want to see another game. I don't want to see another game. I want to see Carlton. That's it. I don't want to see your shit players play all together. I don't want to see them. I want to see my team. That's it. If I can't see my team, I don't want to see nothing. Like, I don't want to see them. I don't want to see Merritt and Cripps together. I don't care. Like, what do I care? Oh, yeah, that was good. Merritt handball to Cripps. Oh, I don't give a shit. Right? Just fucking don't get injured so we can play next week.
Now, what if we're going to entertain this idea, say you have like a mini carnival or you have Victoria v WA and the winner out of those two plays the All-Australian team?
Yeah, but wouldn't there be players from either side in the
No,
All-Australian
obviously the
team?
All-Australians already counted out. Let's see these selectors put their money where their mouth is and actually see how this team would perform. Like the Dacos on every fucking wing.
When do you play it, Scotty? I mean, the concept sounds good. When do you play it?
Well, why don't we just play it midweek on some random round? It's just pointless and stupid anyway.
What about zero round? Zero round.
Yeah.
How
We'll
about
have
we take
opening round, including State of Origin, Indigenous round.
Gather round. Maybe
gather round there. Try and squeeze in the rivalry round. Yeah. I am getting a bit sick of all the gimmicks here, but they seem pretty keen on having some sort of pre-season exhibition. We can't stop them because we are not the interested parties here. So,
and we won't stop them, mate. It just comes down to who's going to play at the end of the day.
I reckon if you tell me, right, that it's going to be the best players guaranteed apart from injuries, right? And then they're going to fake injuries because there are players who are not going to want to play, man. There are players who are getting ready for contracts. They don't want to imagine getting an injury in an interstate game on the last year of your contract. Like, far out. Like, you'll be thinking, I'm not playing that game, man. Like, this affects my future. You know what I mean? If anything, there's no, I can't find any way.
There's no solution. There's no solution, Rocco. Like I said, maybe an under 25s or under 22s, maybe just something to watch, get the young players out there, give them some experience.
Yeah, but what does the AFL get out of that, though?
That's right.
I'd watch something like that. I'd watch, young kids playing a game of footy, mate, under their state. Why not?
Yeah. But is Telstra going to pay an extra however many millions or hundreds of thousands to watch some underages run around Optus Oval?
You're never going to get the best players playing State of Origin at the moment. It's gone. It's finished.
We'll just have to wait and see because I think it's all but confirmed. Yeah,
that's right. That's the key, isn't it?
Just like every other gimmick game, like Rocco said, we're all going to forget about it the day after and move on.
Another failure on their behalf there, the AFL, just like...
Even if they're the best players, even a month out of the season, they're still going to be severely undercooked.
As I said, a month in, like, people are just getting ready. Like, how many times they get little niggly injuries at the start of the year and then they're going to be ready, 2 weeks before the season and that, I don't know, man. To me, it's just going to be a bunch of C graders. They might as well just play Carlton and Essendon, right? Just play us two, and that's it. bunch of C-grade fucking footballers playing a game of footy that means nothing. Just like in 2 weeks' time, Marco, Thursday night,
Looking
Mark
forward to
and
it.
Rocco in a game that means absolutely nothing. They should just scrap the season now, I'll tell you right now. While we're talking about the actual footy, Marco or Liam, there was a bit of a tribunal decision, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think Mark will go first because there's one that involves one of his players.
Yes, Marco, do you want to talk about it? You weren't happy about that.
Again, just quickly, mate, just a bit of AFL talk again. But, Dylan Shield obviously got 1 week for pushing an opposition player into his own player. And obviously there was no serious injury to it, but he got a week for it. I just can't justify the reason of why he would get suspended for a week for something like that when it happens every week. It's happened, I think, 5 or 6 weeks ago where a player did push an opposition player into another player as well, and he got nothing for it. So, mate, maybe just a fine.
The example you're talking about is Brody Myercheck.
That's correct. That's
Yes.
spot on there, Scotty. So, yeah, look, I mean, it's just you're judging again these umpire decisions and the tribunal's decisions is just ridiculous, mate. To be quite honest, but I don't think he intentionally tried to harm the Essendon player. I mean, look, it could have happened. It could have happened in a game of football where in the mix of the contact and the Carlton player hits his own player and maybe elbows him in the head and knocks him out. Is that what does that mean? Does he get suspended for something like that?
Well, Mark, the crux of the argument has always been, are we adjudicating on the action or the outcome? Now, if Shield had caused the concussion of that Geelong player, or the other Essendon player had landed on his neck and caused spinal injuries, would he have been deserving of a week then? Or because he performed an action that could have had such grave consequences, he's deserving of a pretty light suspension, especially considering how hard they've been on pushing players into contests like that all year?
The outcome, what was the outcome? Was he concussed? Was it seriously injured? No. It happens every week, mate. Players push players on the back. So
but at the start of the year, when Ruben Jinby broke Sam Lawler's jaw doing that action, they said, you guys are fucked if you even think about trying this. And what did Dylan do? He done it. and he got punished for it, which has been...
It wasn't intentional, mate. It's not intentional. And, he didn't go out there trying to cause any harm. And unfortunately, anything, it didn't happen. But
what's your intention when you're pushing a player into the path of an oncoming player?
Come on. Look, so you're saying he intentionally pushed that player into the path of another player. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous, Scotty, mate.
Could it be without defending anyone? And like, I'm actually a bit on the fence on this one, but so is he pushing him into the path, or was he pushing him so he could go under the ball and then have a clear mark or whatever? See, that's the difference. What was he doing? So I think most times players are just nudging or pushing someone so they can get the ball, get them underneath the ball.
Yes.
I seriously don't believe he was pushing him intentionally, wanting him to like push him into the other player. I don't think that was the intention.
Yeah.
But the point is here that they're having their cake and eating it too. Is it on the outcome? Because in other cases, there's been, mate, elbows that have just missed, or they just missed their head and they get nothing. And then they get their head, they get 3 weeks, Now he pushes it. Well, nothing happened. He still gets a week. If he does something happen, he gets 4 weeks. Like, is it the outcome?
Well, the positive thing to it is what they were saying. Sorry, Liam, but the positive thing is that now that a lot of players are going to start thinking twice about pushing another player in the back, whether it be a backman pushing a forward in the back. they're going to think twice now about pushing that player because of the outcome that might occur. So it is a positive thing in one way, but at the end of the day, there's no intention to it. So just, it was an accident. It happened. Maybe a fine, a warning, but to suspend a player for something like that, players are going to start thinking twice now about, what Rocco was saying. Their advantage, if you do push
nudging someone underneath, you nudge someone underneath, What do we stop that to now, Scotty? Are we going to stop the nudging underneath the ball? I mean, it happens every game in the forward line. How many times do forwards nudge a player underneath the ball? You know what I mean?
There's a difference between the action that you're describing and what Dylan Shield did, though. And Mark, if you want to talk about receiving a warning, the AFL could not have given a bigger warning at the start of the season when Lawler had his jaw broken. And subsequently, the following week, a Richmond player got suspended for that same action. But it's been happening all year, and we've been pointing out ones that haven't been suspended because I'm more on your side where it's like, look, it's that falls under the category of a footy act, I believe. There's some really egregious examples, but they have been so hard on a lot of players this year, less hard on some. It's more the consistency of what they're adjudicating here rather than the actual, the situation itself that I feel.
Yeah.
But no, he's a fucking dog and he deserves what he gets.
Yeah, well, that's a different thing. If you're pushing them into the contest and putting it in harm's way, that should be suspended every week. What other intent is there outside of causing harm? I don't think the player's thinking about causing him harm. I don't think the player's out there causing. No player goes out there. It's not the 80s where I'm going to go in and try to fucking punch and I'm going to make sure I make him earn it. That doesn't happen anymore, bro. He's thinking about, if I remember the incident, right, he's seen him, he's pushed him so he can get to the ball, right? He's pushed him a bit hard, and he's run into his own player and that, right? So there was an outcome there. But I can't believe that he did it with all he's thinking about getting the ball. His only intention was to hurt this player. No, I can't do it.
Well, I don't think either Shield or the Geelong player, I mean, they would have seen Luau coming, but I don't think either of them expected him to jump 2 meters in the air as well.
And that's the key as well, Scotty, because these players these days are quite athletic, especially Luau. He jumps up and, he's a bit of a springboard. If it would have been a smaller, say, a Hobbs or a Merritt or so forth, they probably wouldn't have even got that high anyway. So, it was just that mistaken identity.
The reason why Shield's tribunal went for so long is because it wasn't even necessarily the action was the push on the Geelong player, but he was actually being suspended for the potential damage on his own teammate because there was nothing in the rule books or in their grading metric that involved possibly harming another teammate, especially in this regard. That's what the suspension was for, even though the main action was pushing the Geelong player, but it was because Luau came over the top and essentially was tunneled by that.
Correct.
That was what was also brought in. And that's why it took so long for them to come to a 1-week suspension, because there was really nothing in the rule book for it. But
interesting. Liam, we haven't heard from you. What do you reckon?
All right, I've got 3 points to make here from listening to you fellas. First one is that the action is punishable. Outcome obviously will depend how long the suspension should be, but we know now that pushing players into a contest like that, it's not on. That's a suspendable action. That's what I saw that he did. He pushed him into the contest. So for me, that's a suspendable action. That's why he got a week. 2 is when you talk about it happens around the ground. I understand and I get that. But also, again, I think I've spoken about this before, but if you're going on just basic rules of the game, when you push someone in the back, that's a free kick anyway. So I don't see what's any different about this. This is just another rule that they've said you can't push players into a contest like that. It's silly. And then 3, as far as the intent, no, I don't think Dylan Shield's intent was to hurt a Geelong player or an Essendon player for that fact. It's the same. It's the same thing as when you tackle someone and they get dropped on their head. No one goes out there to tackle to smack someone on the head. You're just doing it because it's part of the game. You're competing to get the ball. But yeah, so that's what I think is, intention doesn't really matter too much on this one. The fact is, it's a rule, and if you push someone into a contest, shouldn't be allowed to do it. Those are my 3 points.
We got the Geelong zone here, so we've got some Cats supporters here. If
Yeah,
it isn't in the rules, how did he get suspended then? Is it in the rules? I don't know.
That was the whole point of the deliberation last night. It was to set the precedent and to make that part of their grading rubric. That's
From
that's
now on,
friend of the show, Lucas, by the way. Geelong
was
zone.
that Lucas?
Yeah.
Hey, Lucas. He must be sitting with no top on, enjoying the show at the moment. Yep. So anyway, so was it in the rules before the other night?
I think, but the pushing players into the contest, it's back to what Scotty said when it happened in the preseason. As soon as he did it and he pushed someone into a contest and they got injured, they've cracked down and they've said no. And the first player who got suspended was Ryan Mansell, our player this year. Since then, we've seen a couple other ones. The only one that they've missed was a couple of weeks ago when Brody Myercheck did it. Of course, they let the Collingwood player off, but that's a separate issue. So as far as I'm aware, you cannot push players into the contest.
And that's also, Liam, it's a proactive way about getting Shield suspended, is to make now other players aware that you just cannot push anyone in the back, regardless of where you are in a position on the ground.
I mean, like Liam said, you can't push people in the back. That's the rules.
Well, now if you push a player and you push a player onto your teammate and you knock him out, then you're liable for that. That's pretty much what the tribunal is trying to say.
That's
what they're saying. If your careless actions endangers your own teammates,
they do it all the time, mate. They're pushing players all the time. So if it's the stage where the player is being injured or hurt, then there's a consequence to that. What if Nankervis is going up in a ruck, right, and he elbows Toronto in the head while he's coming down and knocks him out? What duty of care is that? Is that a high tackle? Is it a high? Does he get suspended for that because it's his own player, or is it an accident? How you look at that, Liam? Nankervis is going up to the ruck. He comes down and he elbows. He puts his elbow and he knocks out Toronto fair and square in the head, and he knocks him out. Does he get suspended for that?
From what you described, that sounds more incidental. From what you described, so if he jumps up, goes for the tap, and then falls onto a player, that sounds kind of incidental. I don't really see how you can punish an accident like that.
Okay,
that is incidental. That's definitely incidental. So you can't be punished for that.
It's the same as if you go up for, say, a specky, if you go up for a mark on top and you fall down and you land on top of one of your players. Yep. I feel like that's incidental. I feel that's the sort of same thing as what you've described. In my opinion, I don't know.
If you push an opposition player into the path of any player, that is a dog act according to the tribunal.
That's a choice.
It's a dog act, Scotty, but is it a suspendable and is it a rule?
Okay.
Yeah.
It is. They've set the precedent.
No, they set it this week, before this week. When did they set it?
You can't set precedent before it happens.
So how can you get then penalised for something that doesn't exist yet?
It already did exist. It was just this specific case because the infringed player was a teammate. But the action falls within what
I'm just trying to understand this. So the action at the start of the year,
this is why they spent 5 hours deliberating.
We're going to spend 5 hours just trying to understand it.
And it's going to happen
I mean,
again.
yeah,
And it's going to happen again and again and again.
If they haven't
They've just
made
gotta
their
be
intentions
consistent.
clear by round 22 of the season, Mark, it is unfortunate it was your player, but that's been what the whole season has been based on. And it was specific to yours because it was a teammate that was involved. But
Yeah.
look, every other player that's been suspended for this, it's been way more than a week.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I got off lightly, if you ask me.
All right.
It wasn't the most egregious example of a suspension this week either, because I know Liam wanted to talk about Rory Laird.
I do, yeah.
He gave a boo.
Who gave a boo?
He said, "I do." He said, "I do."
Oh, did you say I do? Sorry, it must be your
I
accent.
thought you said no. I didn't boo.
I thought you went boo.
I boo the Tribunal and MRO because they're stupid and they stuffed up again on this one with Rory Laird. I went through, I watched it. He's come across. He's trying to make an impact as a defender on the contest to make a smother. And if we're talking about rules and stuff, you are allowed to go and you are allowed to smother. As far as I'm aware, from the footage that I've seen, he did not make any contact with the head. He is going in for a football act and he has been suspended. Someone please explain why he's been suspended. I don't understand.
Well, according to the Tribunal, it was he elected to bump, and that is what their ruling is. If you look at, I think there's 3 different angles that they show if you look up any news article for this, or the still frames that they show in any news article attached to this, it looks exactly like he's going like that. But when you watch the behind the goals vision, he's clearly going for a smother, and it's when their legs get entangled, that's where he turns or lifts his arm. There's no way you can call what he did a bump, but unfortunately, according to the Tribunal's wisdom, they know better than what he was doing in the moment, rather than what they saw with their own what they were doing with their own eyes. It's that one's a real sham. It depletes Adelaide more, but I don't think they'll need it this weekend.
Nah.
Fair.
What do you reckon?
It's not a bump, man. He's not trying to bump him.
No.
How can you describe that as a bump?
Yeah. The Stephen May case from a couple of weeks ago was you could make a much clearer case as to that. If you were to say he was going to elect to bump, that is a far clearer case than. Yeah.
That was clear. You could tell it.
He has both of his arms like that prior to contact. And it's only when the actual contact happens, because it happens near his shoulder area, they're saying that he elected to bump.
And he didn't. And you're right. And this is why we're so confused. And this is why we have these discussions, because we're trying to understand it. Like I'm trying to understand. It's already hard enough watching a game of footy and not knowing 30 or 40, 50% of the decisions that are going on. You're just waiting for the umpire to point in a direction, and then you know that it's with or against you. So let alone these sort of decisions. And imagine how the players feel.
We're saying
his body to protect himself. Sorry. Unfortunately, Cribs got injured, but I thought the AFL wanted that, protect himself. Yeah, well, wouldn't he want him to think that he was protecting himself?
Well, the interesting thing also, because in that same game, Cripps, he was dazed, not concussed, but in that same game, Thilthorpe was concussed, but there was no suspension on the infringing player there. And it brings us back to what we started this conversation with, and we constantly have. Is it the action or the outcome? It seems to change week by week or depending on the severity.
And that's exactly right. And that's where we get confused. But sometimes it's the action and sometimes it's the outcome, like
I think the cause of this entire issue with the Tribunal, and it all comes back to Michael Christian, because it's all just him. And because he designed this grading rubric, I think it all comes back to that, because you literally just check a box with zero context. And with a situation like Laird, to make it match up with their grading rubric, because in the tribunal as well, it's either you're guilty or you're not guilty. You either cop your sentence or you don't, really. Reality has to match, well, reality has to change to match what's been graded on the rubric, if that makes sense, rather than the rubric having to match what's actually happened in reality, because it lacks all context. And for one man to be responsible for every MRO decision, I think is like deplorable, seriously, in a professional competition where there's so much missing from these decisions.
I think Blue Bag has got it. I'm convinced the tribunal is just one bloke in front of a computer and just slows it right down until he can get the right angle. And then he goes, bang, you're done. You are done. I saw that.
But then also every appearance, every challenge to the tribunal, I think the AFL clubs have to pay the AFL about 10 grand per case or per hearing.
I think is it 10 or 15 grand, and then do they get it back if they win it, or they still lose 10 grand or something?
I think it's just it's to have the hearing in the first place. Yeah,
they have to pay.
Yeah,
it's all about the money. And what did you before we quickly go to the other part? What did you think about the Collingwood incident with Howe?
Yeah. That was shocking because he did not move for about 5 minutes, and it was
the outcome was shocking, man. You could see him; he was knocked out because as soon as they lift their arm, they're done.
Yeah, but in that situation, straight away, everybody in Australia except for our friends at Collingwood thought that's just there's nothing you can do to Newcombe about that. He didn't even know he was there. That was, if we're going to talk about a footy act or something like that.
Yeah.
There's no way that Newcombe could ever be infringed for that. Yeah,
I agree, and it wasn't for that because you could see, and that was different to the May one because he actually tackled him in this one. He had his arms, and
that's what the tribunal's asking for. If you're going to knock someone out, you've got to at least attempt to tackle them.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened. Mark, you saw that, didn't you?
No, I didn't. My apologies, boys. I haven't seen the couple of the incidents that just occurred, so my apologies.
Liam?
Yeah, I definitely saw that one. Yeah, I think, like we said, he's going in for a footy act, and unfortunately, this time it wasn't a very good outcome for Jeremy Howe, which we don't want to see, even if he is a Collingwood player. We don't want to see stuff like that. It was. I don't have any problem with that. It's unfortunate what happened, but I wouldn't like to see something like that get suspended.
No, 100%. And you can see that was definitely a footy act. And look, the Hawthorn player, what was his name?
John Newcombe from Pooh.
John Newcombe. He could have easily have been knocked out himself there because they hit heads.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it was when Howe hit his head on the ground. That's when he went out cold.
Yeah. So
that was frighteningly similar to when Brayshaw went down and did not move, and he didn't even move his head up. Really, I know they make them not move, but he didn't even move his feet until he was on the stretcher. Like I thought he was full KO, or not even KO'd. I thought rest in peace.
And then when you get Collingwood supporters on, don't you? Is it a footy act? Even though he didn't choose to do anything, he just ran into him like
that's what Howe did. He ran into him like an idiot.
A Collingwood response there. Are you serious? Mate, they ran at the ball together. He put his hands out to tackle him. Howe did nothing wrong too, mate. This bloke ran. He ran for the ball. They both ran to the ball. Last minute, I think Newcombe saw that he was getting there before him and went to tackle him, and they hit heads. Come on, bro. You're better than that, man. I don't want to hear that. There's no way that he ran into him like an idiot. I don't think so. And then just quietly after that.
The last point that's there is spot on. It's just a collision. When two people are running at each other full pace, sometimes it's bad things will happen.
Of course, man. And they run hard, man.
It did.
I'm telling you, man. They reckon that the footy was harder in the 80s and all that, and mate, it was a different hardness. Now they're just bigger, stronger, faster.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
But it's part of the game.
Now, if
100%.
John Newcomb had pushed Nick Dacos into Jeremy Howe and it was the same outcome, you'd be saying, of course, he'd get suspended.
Yeah, of course, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He looks like he's done too, Dacos. So,
Who? We don't have to talk about Collingwood players.
injured. I don't know what game you were watching, bro, man. Are you serious? If you look at, he had his arms wrapped around him when he tackled him.
Newcomb could have done just as much damage to himself as he did to Howe.
The reaction time of Newcomb in that situation was like, not that he's thinking like, fuck, I have to wrap my arms around him to save myself.
He's running at the ball. What's he supposed to do? Like, he's got to attack the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to the ball almost instantly together. Like, it was just, come on, bro, man. I didn't even want to bring up that incident, but now it seems to be is bringing up some stuff there.
Collingwood supporter.
Of course, man. Are you serious, man? Oh, wow.
They're feeling sorry for themselves, so they're going to start arcing up, I reckon.
Well,
unless they get a chance to get on.
Yeah, even no regrets. They're probably just sitting there fucking crying about their shit season that's about to happen, yeah. So, anyway, I did want to quickly go on to this one. Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
Hello,
embarrassing.
Tom. How are you, Tom? You're looking nice there, Tom.
I'll be back after that, boys. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Mate, he's off to meet Snoop Dogg out back, mate. There you go, boys.
Yeah. What timing that
Where you
was.
going?
I can't believe the timing of that. Snoop Dogg.
It's embarrassing by the AFL. We chatted about this a few weeks ago, but it's like, seriously, what are we doing here, guys? Like, actually, no, I did think about it today. I wanted to, because he's not exactly, well, in a former life, Snoopy wasn't exactly the greatest respecter of women. I was going to bring up a bunch of his lyrics, but it's a bit too late for that now. Seriously, like,
there is some kids watching, mate. We've got to behave.
No,
yeah, well,
I still don't get, like, how can Snoop Dogg be like a pre-game G up, you know?
And this is the thing. It's not that he's not a mega star, right? Don't get me wrong. He is. He's Snoop Dogg. Everyone knows him. They're going to pay a lot. I actually know the producer or the events organizer who's getting him down here. So I ended up speaking to him 2 weeks ago. So I knew that he was coming 2 weeks ago, right? Because it was almost signed, sealed, and delivered. And he said, look, he's a megastar. The thing that the AFL want, they want a national audience, and Snoop Dogg will give you that. And that's the whole thing. It's not about the G up. It's not about, we get Australian talent, we get some music. How about we get Up There Kazali playing, which will be heaps better, right? But they want an international audience, and Snoop Dogg will give you that.
No, it'll give our corporate sponsors, AFL, Telstra, etc., an international audience of their logos in the background of a shot of Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying.
And that'll go on your mate's resume, and he'll be able to pimp himself out. Well, I'm not attacking your mate, but whoever put him onto this, they get to put that on their resume going forward.
Yep. And how the fuck did he get a visa? Look, it happened like
20 years ago he couldn't get into the country because
now it's all
we know his crimes. Yeah.
But
I'll be checking.
If Snoop Dogg does perform, which he is, it all just comes down to how's he going to sound. If his vocals can be there,
no, we're not even going to hear his vocals, Mark. You know what these rappers do? They just purely go over a backing track.
They do, but it's better if it's half as decent as fucking Meatloaf, mate. Then we'll be going all right, mate. So if he can perform and his vocals or whatever the case may be, the sound system around it can perform the grand final, mate, I reckon it'll be fantastic. But yeah, it just comes down to how the vocals perform. That's what we want to hear, the vocals and the beats, and I reckon it'll be fantastic. Otherwise, mate, get the Foo Fighters out, mate. Metallica's coming out in November. You should have got Metallica probably a little bit earlier. That would have been fantastic as well. But Foo Fighters, Metallica, or maybe even throw Jimmy Barnes back on there.
There's alleged players on Carlton's alleged AFL list that have allegedly been suspended for allegedly 12 weeks this season for allegedly doing drugs. And now we've got one of the biggest promoters of using illicit substances in front of our professional sport where they crack down on this shit. I don't know.
I was going to mention drugs, but I thought, you know what? I'm not going to get involved with the drugs at the moment.
What? You're not going to get involved with drugs at the moment? What about when
now we're not going to get involved? 10 years ago, like we were fine with the drugs, but now we don't want them anymore.
We can all have a bit of a Scooby that day and just enjoy the day and enjoy the moment. Why not?
I tell you what, you know.
Whether you have a couple of tequila shots or you have a couple of beers and bourbons and then have a couple
that's
of
all right, it's illegal. Beers and shots are legal, mate. Like that's the whole thing, mate. It's about the illegal. And I'm not a bloody, how do you say it? Like I'm not a sour puss or any of that. People do whatever they want. I've done my sort of shit in my life. I'm no angel myself. But if the AFL, you're right, Scotty. I never thought about it like this. The AFL want to promote such a clean, right? Such a clean sport. No drugs. Oh, respects for women, which we all agree on, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you get this sort of bloke coming out, and I'm not saying he's probably a changed man. I don't know him.
Imagine all the hijinks and mischief that Jamara Ugle-Hagan has allegedly gotten up to this season, and now Snoopy's up there on the big stage doing everything he's done and more.
I guarantee.
How do you think he'd be feeling?
I guarantee he's going to be high as a kite, mate. So I'll just tell you right now that you're absolutely right. They want to promote this, but now all of a sudden they're a bunch of, can I just put it this way? We love Lana. 100%, man.
Lana.
100%, man. This is absolutely correct. They just do whatever they want. This is because of money. They want to promote it interstate. Snoop Dogg will do it. Snoop Dogg was probably the one available. You got to think about this. I'm sure they had a list of people they wanted, but not everyone's available. You know what I mean? So
out there, Rocco, mate. Just hit the bands out there.
It was Snoopy or Ed
but
Sheeran.
Is it going to be international, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, international. Well, you know what? I don't know. Ed Sheeran or Scotty was saying there, or I don't know.
I like Ed Sheeran, but I don't want to hear his songs. I don't know.
A lot better than Snoop Doggy Dogg. You know, like far out.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll take the Gins.
Yeah, I'll go back to what I said a few weeks ago. It should be local talent and something on the heavier side like Parkway would definitely. I think it would surprise people how well it will go over. But imagine
it will go over good.
Yeah, Snoopy's going to be down in his green room, and some imported security guard is going to be on his walkie-talkie, being like, he's smoking a blunt right now. Like, what do we do?
Yeah, no, it's going to be.
That's crazy.
It's going to be interesting. But do we expect anything more or less from the AFL? I mean, their entertainment has been shocking forever. I can't remember a good one, to tell you the truth, man. Even last year with Katy Perry, I mean, she was okay. She put on a good show, I think. And she was okay, you know, but I actually thought she was okay last year. I don't think she was that bad, you know. She's pretty much an international star and that. So, but Snoop Dogg, not everyone's going to get it.
In 23, when they got in Kiss at the last minute, and it was kind of gross because they're all in fucking black and white, and they had 100 kids out there dancing in black and white, and we all know. But Kiss, they're like an arena show. Like they're already that spectacle.
Yeah.
Like that's they brought the right vibe, and that's why it worked.
This was okay too. You're right. Yeah,
that's what you want.
Yeah,
and Robbie Williams was okay. I suppose he was good. He's a cool.
Oh, Robbie, man.
I wonder did his contract as international ambassador of Carlton go out with Sayers, or he's kind of disappeared since someone got his knob out. But
Well, someone got his knob out, and now TDK wants to go over to another club.
yeah.
He's not coming out so much with the songs anymore. So, yeah, so that's it. So, look, man, it's a bit strange. But to tell you the truth, I'm not really interested in the entertainment's not for us. It's for the corporate.
The fact that it's pre-game as well, like when I went to watch the grand final at my mate's place last year, we completely missed the whole Katy Perry thing. Like, and it didn't even affect our entire day at all. The only reason why we went back and watched it is because of all our mates' girlfriends. Like, they're the only ones that cared about it.
Yeah, I agree.
I still don't think I've watched it, to be honest. I'm not interested.
I mean, you know what it is? Because usually, like, if I'm at home watching it, because I haven't been to a grand final in 30 years, so no, actually 26 years when we beat when we lost to North Melbourne and we beat Essendon in the prelim. That was a fantastic day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't been to a grand final, but usually you know what it is. You're either at a mate's place, you're out somewhere, you're having a barbecue, you're watching the footy, you're doing all that. So it's in the background. You don't really take notice of it. You know, you wait for that first bounce and that's it. Like, you don't really take notice of it. So
I get more enjoyment of watching those blokes kick the footy down the Yarra.
Yeah, I love that
trade and shit like that. Yeah,
I love that shit.
That's celebrating the game and everything around it. Yeah.
I reckon there should be more of that, mate. More like
if they're gonna give us the day off, like, let's pack it. Like, I want 24 hours of footy nonsense, and not 15 minutes of some blow in from over the pond.
You know what they used to do, Scotty? Like, I remember in the days, I'm sure Mark will remember this, before the footy on Channel 7, there was 24 hours of constant games.
My dad's talked about this,
and it was the bed, man. You'd almost stay up all night, right? And then you'd fall asleep for a few hours. You'd wake up and there'll be game after game. And then at 8 o'clock, the breakfast started.
Yes,
and then all
North Melbourne Breakfast Club.
But at night, it'd be like midnight and you're watching this random quarter from 1982, you know, that was like it was just awesome, mate. The footy marathon, exactly right.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be sick. And then replay the whole final series,
Look at all these old pricks. They all remember it.
See, it's funny, Rocco Morrow says, what about Crowded House? In 23, they were supposed to have Crowded House, but they pulled out at the last minute. That's how they got this.
Oh, no. I saw Crowded House last year. They were awesome.
Just put the Wiggles on, mate. Just put the Wiggles on, mate. We'll be all right.
I trust the Wiggles to because the OG Wiggles, they're off doing their pub gigs now. I would trust them to put on a better show or the right vibe.
Well, you got the kids involved.
It's good. All right, listen, we're gonna you could stay for another couple of minutes, Scotty, can't you?
Yeah, of course. I can do a bit more. Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna have Liam, someone special coming from your side, aren't they?
Yeah.
So while we're going to get them ready and going, I reckon we haven't got the Collingwood flavour, but we're going to give a bit of a Collingwood flavour here. And I reckon we can chat about this because I reckon we all watch this game pretty intensely. So
with one hand visible at all times.
17, 810, 610, 46. They didn't even get going, Collingwood. What an absolute disgrace.
No regret said win by 5 goals. I don't think they ever got within 5 goals of Hawthorn.
No, they did not get in within the 5 goals. I don't think they got nowhere near it. And I could just imagine. Can you just imagine? No regret.
Keep crying.
Can you just imagine him do all night? Can Can you just imagine that? What about
like most people, I fucking hate Hawthorn, but I was like, Cho, and he's usually useless, but he was just slotting him, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. Mate, they were when they get going, Hawthorn, they're a good side, man. They get good going, and like I know. Listen, look, he asked me to clip him, so we did ask No Regrets how they were going to beat Hawthorn. Yeah.
Also, their midfield is not that good. Their forward is just too tall and really slow. They're small. What is it?
So you reckon Hawthorn's going to win? We're going to beat Hawthorn by how many points?
5 goals.
Yeah. So apparently
he was not even confident. He wasn't even confident in that clip. You could tell.
He reckons that. Let me see. They're way too slow. Their forwards are just way too big, and their forwards absolutely smashed you. They took so many contested marks in the forward line. They just ran rings around you. I'll tell you one thing.
Billy Frampton and Darcy Moore running around the back line. You might as well be playing your back line as your forwards because everyone's having a party that day.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm going to be serious.
And the midfield battle as well. They beat it. They beat them in clearances.
I'm so happy that Carlton trolled Collingwood into believing that Tom Mitchell was a viable choice in their midfield. Well, that plan came out perfectly.
Oh, we got we love little Liam. He's getting right into a 5-goal prediction was shoved right back up his cool line. Bang. Bang. Where is he? It was. Look, if I can just talk, I've spoken to Collingwood supporters about this game, and they're quietly a little bit worried, which they should be. What I believe, and in the chat, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Right? Tell me this: teams aren't scared of them anymore. That aura about Collingwood always coming back. If you noticed in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Mate, teams are just coming back at them, and they're playing their game. They're running their game, mate. They're playing that hard running game. They're not scared to take the game on. And Collingwood have lost it a little bit. And the other thing about Collingwood too is, I'll tell you one thing about Collingwood. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, the old players, blah blah." This is when you start seeing the old players. This is like near the end of the season. Yeah, Geelong did it a few years back. Carlton did it in '95, one of the oldest teams. But we held on to the end. And it's hard to do with those old players because they start to feel it by the end of it, yeah? And then you even see their best player, Dacos. He looks sore. He looks sore a little bit. They're starting to really heavy tag.
For about a month now, they were asking Craig McCraig how they're going to manage him because, a month ago he was looking sore. And they just, now he's playing I think it was 70% of game time last week, but he's always been at 90+%. But they're 100%. Still pushing him through
100% because they know how much they need him, And look at this, man.
The narrative around the management of their players flipped so quickly. It went from they are perfectly managing these senior bodies to now they are completely incompetent at managing anybody and it completely disrupts the team. And but even I don't know if you saw the same with your Collingwood mates, but at least with mine, they went from flag pies 25 to we're being realistic about the situation overnight and went into that mode so quick that you almost couldn't dig into them, if that makes sense.
We saw it last week with our mate Manny, mate. He swapped his name back from...
Yeah, he's spotted and he's been messaging and he's not happy. Look, he says, I'm not worried, we'll shit that. No, you've been shit for a month, mate. Richmond almost got you, mate. Yeah. Stop talking your fucking rubbish, bro. Stop talking, mate. Load management. What are you talking about? You've been absolutely disgraced. You kicked 6 goals for the game, mate. You kicked 6 goals. Can I pick up
one thing about the teams that they've lost to?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know if anyone else has reported on it or if I'm just super smart and figured this out. But I was looking through at who's beaten them. So they've lost to Hawthorn, then it was Brisbane, Fremantle, then who was it? Gold Coast, and then the other 2 games they lost this season, Geelong and Giants. Do you know what's in
The
common
whole
with all
top
that
eight.
team? They're all
They're
top
all the
eight.
top
Spot on.
8.
100%.
So that
No,
if there is
but you know what they'll say, Liam. We already played all of them at the start of the year, but then you look at teams like Footscray. The narrative around them is that they can't beat top 8 teams.
Yeah, but do you remember
If
Footscray
Collingwood make
back in
finals, they're
2016,
all
right?
the
How
teams
could
they're
they?
going to play in
They
those.
went all the way.
Yeah.
You don't want to be an April Premier, as they say. So my question, if anyone from Collingwood does come on,
you've lost all these teams in recent times. You're sliding down, mate. You think that McRae will be saying any of that? What do you mean, come on, finals? You might not even make it, bro. Like, seriously, man. You're an absolute moron, mate. You're an absolute moron, man.
3 games clear, top of the ladder, to potentially finishing 9th.
We'll start winning against Hawthorn. And this one, hey, Rocco, clip it here, yeah? I'll be back. We win these 3 games left.
Really?
Keep crying, keep crying.
Well, I know it's kind of hard without having Manny here or a replacement, but I would like to ask the chat. You guys, okay, more than likely you will make finals. You go out in the first week because you won't finish top 4. What does that say about your season? And what do you expect the following year? Does that completely fuck your club, as everyone was expecting this gamble you took at the start of the year? That was the outcome, right? If you don't win a flag this year, have you failed? And where does that leave you for the next 3 to 4 years?
Yeah.
Well, there has to be a fail, doesn't it, Mark? Mark, it has to be a fail.
Spot on, Scotty, mate, because I was talking to a couple of Collingwood supporters, but I'm really disappointed that Manny is not on tonight, because I had my neighbour there, Gino. He had a massive tub of fucking Vaseline. But I couldn't bring it onto the show just to give it to Manny into the gulag, you know. And I've told these Collingwood supporters the last 6 or 7 weeks, it's a long season. It's a long season. You got an old team, the geriatrics, mate. They're gonna fall behind the baseline, and that's what's happening. And like you were saying, Scotty, I think if Collingwood don't make the grand final this year with the team and the list that they've got, they're gonna struggle. They need to make some massive changes. This is the opportunity. But I've got a funny thing. I think Collingwood's going to go out in straight sets, mate. If they make the top 4 straight sets,
they prove that they can't beat. Even if they make it the 4th spot, they're playing Adelaide over there. We'll see what happens Friday or Saturday night, whenever they play. And we'll see. Yeah, if they're ready for the challenge, we'll see what they are. But at the end of the day, mate, this is not the form you want to go into.
No, certainly not.
The end of the season,
this is Collingwood's opportunity now to make the grand final and take the premiership. Because if they don't do it this year, I think there's going to be some serious problems, like you were saying, Scotty, with the next 2 or 3 years, because the players are getting older. And if they don't start trading and recruiting now, it's going to be a long next 2 or 3 years for the Collingwood.
And some of these older players, Scotty Pendlebury has signed on for next year.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't understand. Why? You know, some players want to leave, my check and so forth like that it's a key forwards to them. So they need to do it this year, and it's not happening. The season is too long, and I think the older players are starting to take a bit of its toll, and the young players won't continue to keep going on. And other teams, the younger teams like Hawthorn and GWS, Gold Coast, Adelaide, they've got some young kids, fresh. They'll be right there when it really counts, guys. So,
and Michael's a Collingwood supporter, and he says not making the top 4 is a failure. Fucking oath, man! You're 10 points in front of anyone, and now you're getting top 4 sides. You got to remember the Suns had you fucking 55-0 or 1 or 2 points,
for a half. Yeah,
the Gold Coast for a half, and then you came back, and teams just keep coming back on you. They're not worried anymore, and it's all showing. So, and regrets.
The position
you can go
that
on
they're
the chat, but guess what, man? I control you. Remember that. I control if you are seen or not. How bad does that feel in your head every night? Rocco. Imagine that. Imagine sleeping with my face in your head every night, mate. That's scary for me, let alone someone else. That's useless, man.
I don't want to think about that either. Oh boy.
No, we don't want to think about that. Let's get on to another. Do you want to stay while we're waiting for Mr. Jezza?
I'll wait for the big man. Yeah.
You want to wait for the big man? We'll have a look at another game because really I'm sick of talking about those pretenders, those frauds. Let's talk about these frauds over here. Which frauds you want to talk about? These ones. Let's talk about these frauds. 15-19, 109, 34 scoring shots to 15, 10-5, 65. Now, before you go on, and you are still a shit drug-affected side, I have to admit your last 2 weeks have been half decent with the players you got in there, and even Chris Scott gave you a little bit of a how do you say it? A bit of a wrap up, a bit of a encouragement there, saying maybe it was because of his brother. I don't know, but yeah. Tell me about it, Marco.
Well, look, guys, to be quite honest with you, lucky Geelong had missed a lot of goals because we should have got pumped by a lot more than what the 43 points I think it was. But we're always going to look at the positives in some ways, and I guess we at one stage or twice we got within 4 goals, and I thought that was a great effort for the boys, the young kids, to go out there and show a bit of aggressiveness to the game. So a couple of times we got within 4 goals. The other positive, Archie Roberts again, he's just showing that he belongs at the AFL level. So fantastic to Archie Roberts there, mate, and McMahon. Kicked 4 goals, which obviously shows some signs that
was. Isn't he from Carlton?
He was from Carlton. Yeah, it was the mid-season draft. So we need to take as many players as we can due to all the injuries, and then of course again we got done again with the injuries with Zach Merritt, obviously broken hand, and Archer May, Dermot Burton's stepson, another injury to the ankle. So it's just not getting any better for us boys. But, a couple of umpiring decisions. I'm not going to get too technical about it, but there was a few decisions there in the last quarter. It was about 9 minutes to go. We were about 25 points down, and 9 minutes is a lot of time in football. And obviously Cameron gets the free kick and kicks a goal, and game was over from there. But it was a stupid and ridiculous free kick.
I agree with you there, Mark, but what did you think of the umpires in the third quarter that got you within 2 goals?
The umpiring throughout the whole game, Scotty, was ridiculous, mate. Honestly, these umpires are getting worse and worse, man. So, it got us within the 2 goals, some of the umpiring decisions. But that was just a ridiculous, decision from the umpire giving Cameron a free kick when two players are going for the ball. Again, it's 9 minutes to go. It's a long time in football. We wouldn't have won the game, but anything can happen in the game of football. So, umpiring decisions again disgraceful. But at the end of the day, do we want to win? I don't know. Maybe we don't want to win anymore because we need to get some draft picks. And
are you tanking, Mark?
Well, I think most clubs are tanking. I think. Richmond was a prime example. West Coast was a prime example. They had opportunities to win the game, and I think the coaches. It's not the players, but I think coaches and the assistants there are manipulating the game to make them lose. So it could be a bit of tanking going on at the moment, Scotty, mate. That's the way football's going.
We're not tanking, mate.
You're not tanking?
Well, I don't want to get sidetracked off your game, Mark, but win or lose did not affect Richmond's draft position, but St Kilda winning fucks theirs.
That's right. So if St Kilda, if Richmond would have won, they would have gone on top of Essendon. Is that correct, Liam?
I think there's a little bit of percentage. Although yours is pretty bad as well. Yeah. Even with you on point.
But
and we're 2 games behind Carlton. So if all things work well, we can jump both of you in 2 weeks.
Mark, how did you feel
Right.
going into this game? Because obviously the rhetoric around these rednecks down at Geelong was that it would be 100 points minimum. They've got this whole thing about Jeremy Cameron's 100 goals. He's going to kick 20. How did that make you feel going into that game? Did you feel that Essendon was respected at all going into that, or?
Yeah, that's
No,
very true. Good point.
We didn't, Scotty, mate. We've lost the last 10 games, mate. And to be quite honest with you, buddy, I don't know what to think anymore. Obviously injuries have been a massive toll, but for them to be talking about Cameron's, kicking 100 goals and Geelong 100 points, I was quite wrapped that we just got done by 40-odd points. To be honest, I mean, what can we do? There's two AFL-listed players in our team that are playing in the reserves. 2 AFL-listed players. I mean, look, where do we go? At the end of the day, it's good experience for the young kids. That's how I see it. Good experience. I was happy to go down by 10 goals plus. But, it is what it is, mate. And I just can't wait for the season to be over and hopefully, we can at least beat Carlton. That's my prime objective at the moment, is just to fucking beat Carlton.
That's sad when your only fucking hope for the year is to beat Carlton, and we don't look like we're anything to be beaten at the moment.
I just hope if we do beat Carlton, it doesn't affect our position on the ladder. That's the key.
It won't. It won't, Mark. It won't. You're that. I don't know what the ladder is.
You might have to tank that game just to be absolutely safe.
And as long as Melbourne keep on losing, to me, we get a few higher draft picks for next year. So, I don't know what to think anymore about football, guys. There's so many things that I want to speak about in regards to these teams that are not going to make the finals. Should there be another kind of round robin game that could be an incentive for these teams to play? Because
let's give the bottom 4 a chance to make finals.
That's what we need.
They couldn't win it all. Essendon couldn't win it all.
We could.
To have a chance to make the top 8. That would be fucking great. Imagine that. No, Jesus.
Then you have an incentive to tank.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly right, mate. Because there's another team is Tassie coming? Is Tassie coming soon?
We don't know yet. Apparently, they're making a confirmation on the budget potentially for the stadium in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
If they do come into the competition, guys, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be 19 clubs, and these bottom teams within round 15 and 16, they're not going to make the finals, and we need to have an incentive for these bottom teams to maybe, I don't know, organise something that they can play for.
It's not a bad point, like the more teams that get there, the longer the season. What happens is it gets to like round 15, 16, teams can't make the finals anymore. What are we playing for here? Like even now we're going, Scotty, to games, and don't worry, guys. We're going to be talking about Tigers now, and then we're going to get onto the Carlton talk because everyone wants to get onto the Carlton talk. I've got someone coming on, and all you guys can ask us all the questions you want. But you get to that sort of, and then I'm going to games, and I don't care if we win or lose. I don't really care anymore. Like even if we beat, like this week we beat Port Adelaide, and like what? It doesn't mean anything. Like, so you're right. There has to be some sort of incentive, or else what are we playing for here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the answer is.
I have got a couple of ideas, Rocco, but maybe we'll talk about it next week.
All right, do you want to put them together and put a plan together for next week?
I've got a bit of a plan for the AFL to have a look at, just to give
I like it. The Rivals have got a plan for the AFL.
And you think about it and you think to yourself, you know what? Maybe there is some sort of,
sometimes there's method in the madness, mate.
Correct.
Don't worry about that. Let's get on to
one quick statement about the game and then a question for Mark. Mark, do you ever notice, or just in general, down at this GMHBA, Geelong's home ground, where they do train there, they play there. I know you were onto this earlier in the season, Mark. Their crowds, the only time they ever pack that joint out is when they're playing like a bottom four side. They know they're guaranteed to win. When they're actually playing a game where it could be a 50-50, that place has empty spaces everywhere. I'm paying for that stadium. I want it packed out every single weekend, no matter who they're playing. And just in regards to Merritt, now he's broken his hand. There's 2 weeks left. Do you play him in the last game against Carlton, or you just write him off for the year?
Well, he's playing his 250th possibly next week against Florida. So there's no. He might play. I don't know. Maybe they give him a few injections there and make sure his hand's all right, ready to rock and roll.
Hey, I don't want to hear about injections at the Essendon football club.
It's always about the drugs with you.
But to be quite honest with you, I'd rather him rest this week because I think it's about a week. I want him to rest this week against St Kilda and play against the Spuds the week after for his 250th. Go out in a high, hopefully, and broken hand actually. But yeah, hopefully he plays in 2 weeks' time against the Blue Bulls.
Very good, very good. All right, before we get on to the next game, you think I care what you think? Man up, Rocco. I man up every day, mate, on this show. I go on for hours and hours, mate. I man up every day. Do you think I need to read it? You're telling me to man up? Are you serious, bro? I own you. I own your voice. I decide if you come or not. I don't know. You think I'm worried about one of your comments? You think I lose sleep tonight? But remember one thing. When you go home at night and you go to bed, guess what?
Keep crying.
Mate. Trust me, blow. I own you. You disrespected the show last week. I decide if you ever come back on the show. Next. Here we go. Richmond and St Kilda. So we got 7-10-52 to 8-8-56. In actual fact, it wasn't a bad game, was it? I think I think it was almost on you that you didn't win this game. What do you reckon?
I wouldn't say it wasn't a bad game. It was wasn't a good game though. No, it was cool. I went down, got there nice and early, got a nice seat down on level 1, which was cool. Not sure I was meant to be there, but no one kicked me out, so that's good. And then I've made the effort to get there early, and the team showed up 15 minutes late. They had to put 3 goals on the board very quick, so it was a very disappointing start. Take that away, we were pretty good after that. I think around the ball again, especially, we looked good. That movement out of the back line, it wasn't as good as it's been in previous weeks, but I still think it was pretty good. The back line in general held up really well. Like I said, they scored 3 goals in probably the first 10 minutes in that game, and then they only scored 5 goals for the rest of the game, like in 3.5 quarters. So really solid work by the defense. Boston was wicked again. Ben Miller shut down some blokes. Nathan Broad had one of his best games in a while, I felt. What else was there? I think the big problem again is going into the forward line. 7 goals, 10 isn't great. And we had a pretty decent number of inside 50s. I feel like that's been our biggest problem and our biggest constant, but it's been there all season. But it's probably the only area where we haven't improved is we don't connect well from our mids to our forwards. We struggle to put scores on the board, which is really frustrating. It was definitely evident in this game. And some decision-making in the end of the game really killed us, particularly from the senior players. I think Scotty put it in the chat about
Camden McIntosh. Yep.
And that decision, just do the simple thing and get it on. We had a player on. I was down that end of the ground. I was like, just get the ball to him. What are you doing? Why are you trying to be a hero? You're Camden McIntosh. You're probably one of my least favorite players on the team because you do silly things like that. And Rocco said it right at the start when we spoke about this game, and that's the general consensus around all of us fans and anyone who did watch that game is we probably tried harder to lose that game than we did to win. No, it's not because we were tanking. It's just poor decisions, poor skills, and when it mattered, we couldn't get it done. Even the coach came out, even Uze came out in his press conference and said, like, yeah, we probably should have won that one. So you don't really want to be hearing that sort of stuff. You don't want your coach coming out and saying that after a game, like, oh, we probably should have won. No.
I was going to bring this up.
We need
Tom
to
Lynch
win. That's what we
kicking
want.
3 behind straight before even kicking his first goal. It was his first game back from suspension, wasn't it?
Yeah. But as I've said, that's been part of our issue this season is players struggling to convert in front of goals, and like that. Tiger Marzi would have watched the game, obviously. That's goal kicking has been a massive problem for us. I mean, last week obviously is hard to compare to because we genuinely got belted. We kicked 2 goals 12 last week. Surely you think that we do better effort. I know 7 goals 10 is a better effort, but there was a couple. Yeah, I think there was maybe a couple kicks out on the full at goal. So yeah, but specifically with Lynch, I think he's just not the player that he was, and I don't know if he was injured, but he didn't look 100% out there for me. And again, as a senior player, we need him out there to lead and show these young guys how to play. And he has got a lot of responsibility, but I feel like more often than not, he hasn't lived up to it. He's been a player I've been really disappointed with this season.
Well, he's another one that's signed on for next year.
He is. Look, and again, I understand it. Like I've said, he's a leader and he can help. But from what I've seen this season, even again, talking about the suspension, like, I don't know if I've seen him do that this year. And yeah, maybe it's better just to say move him on. But
one thing that maybe you can explain to me, and it does my head in every single week because I fucking hate St Kilda. But every team, every week, no matter what, in the 4th quarter, they just let Nazaya Wanganeen-Miller do whatever the fuck he wants. He was not exactly, he was like fully held down for 3 quarters. But once Richmond, like every club for the last month, have just let him run free in the 4th. Like, can you think of any justification or obvious, like, I don't know, short, like, not even, I mean, it's an obviously a shortcoming, but why? Like, what's running through their heads? Or is it simply that he's just outrun anyone that could possibly run with him at that point?
I'll get to the other comment on screen as well. I'll answer you first, Scotty. So with from what I saw from him, it looked like Mansell had a bit of a run with roll in the first half on him. But as the game got on, that kind of sort of dropped away. And as he so often does, as the good player as he is, he started getting space. He started getting some ball in his hand, and he's one of those players. He's one of the best kicks in the league. And the footy gods are behind him, bro. With the ball in his hand,
how did that bounce? How did that bounce make you feel? And it happened right in front of you.
Yeah, that's that. It's just one of those games. That's why we love and hate it, man. Like bounce. If it bounces true, it could go through for a point. You don't know. What? Yeah. The bounce sucks. Yeah, there's not much I can say, but yeah, as far as why we don't tag him, I don't know. Seems weird. Yeah, there should be more attention put into him because honestly, St Kilda, they sucked. Like that's why I'm frustrated. But they did seriously. Like majority of their game, right, was all these chip kicks, chipping around the back, because that's all they could do.
Yep.
I was like, oh, fantastic! Like these guys are going to rack up for me fantasy team, and they did. But like, seriously, what sort of a game plan is that? They had like a minute where they wouldn't move it past halfway. It was like, well, okay, great, you've got the ball, but what are you doing? I don't know. Anyway, I'll go back to that other question that I had from
Which one was that one? Was this
Purple,
Pink,
green
purple,
one.
green.
are you happy, this one?
Let me read it again. Are you happy with the growth of young tigers so far? Impressed with the kids, more the older tigers? Yeah, honestly, I'd have to agree with you. Yeah, 100%. I've been very impressed with our younger group. Obviously, that's clearly the focus at the moment in a rebuild. We're looking to get their games into them, and yeah, they're pretty impressive. And you're right, the skill and the speed that they have is really good. Seth Campbell's the one that's impressed me the most this season. He's going to be a really good player. I think Taj Houghton, when he gets a full preseason in without injury-free next season, he's going to be an absolute star. We've seen the best of guys like Lawler. I think Trainer's been really consistent all year.
Yeah. Have they iced Lawler for the season?
Say it again.
Have they are they just resting Lawler for the season and just bringing him back next year with that hammy?
Yeah, his hamstring's cooked. Yeah,
all he does, the number one draft pick, all he does is get his dick out and rub it on Carlton's face in round one, and then just sits out injured for the rest of the year.
Instant hero status, isn't it? But I think we've seen enough from the young kids so far this season that there's going to be some good growth going forward. Obviously, there's still a long way to go. We're at the very start of the rebuild now, but yeah, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. And as far as what you say about the senior players, yeah, they've definitely impressed me more than the senior players, because I feel like in some circumstances, particularly the game on the weekend, it's the senior players that have actually let us down. That's what frustrates me a bit more. It's kind of like, I can accept it from an 18, 19-year-old kid. They're young. It's their first couple of games. But when it's guys that have played 150, 200 games plus making mistakes, that's when I get frustrated.
I'm really impressed by what Rioli's been able to do this year, kind of being on the fringe and not being able to run out games at all, to really improving his tank. And the bloke's lost so much weight. He looks so much more fit than he ever has.
That's been a really good one for me as well. Yeah. Because you're right, he was a fringe player, but I thought if he can put in some work off field, down in the twos, and start building, I really do think he should be a best 22 player. And from what we've seen from him, particularly his last 6 weeks, he's on the AFL stage. He's shown he's a really good player, and he deserves a spot in our team.
Would you like to have Higgins back?
Oh yeah, I would. I do like Snags. He was always one of my favourites.
He got his Make-A-Wish dream to go play for the Saints.
So thanks to Oz, $5. Thanks, mate. Great supporter of the channel. If you think about it, Richmond got revenge for the 60-point loss to Carlton in 24 back in round one game of this season. Richmond are on the up. Look, they're young sides, man. Teams like Richmond, it's a young side, so they're going to go up and down in the next year or so, and then hopefully you build where it's different with teams like Carlton and Essendon and Collingwood in a different position.
I do appreciate it, Oz. Thank you very much. And at the risk of getting in trouble and copping some stick here, I think Richmond will be doing better than Carlton in no time.
Oh, here we go.
All right, let's not.
I know I'm going to cop it, but
you have had a free run all year. Do you know the bullshit that Quinn had? Do you know what Quinn had to put up with for so long? And now you've had a free run, and now you start running your mouth.
Check it
out. Mate.
I love it, Liam,
We'll let Mark loose on you any day now. We'll let him loose.
I'm going to be flipped up for Rocco's rant next week. I'm a bit scared now. Should get my mouth shut.
All right. Hey, listen, we are coming up. Everyone stay tuned. We will be doing some calm talk. Scotty, I know that you've got some stuff to do, mate, so we've kept you on long enough.
I've got an early start in the morning, 9 a.m., fellas, so I better get to bed.
And
thank you so much for having me, everyone.
You're a star, bro. And
thanks
for everything. You've been great tonight, man. The real insight into some of this stuff. Yes, the Big Nick.
Happy 86th birthday to the Big Nick.
It is too. You're right, too. Look at the Big Nick. That was a bit of an Easter egg in the back. No one noticed. That's right, man. The Big Nick probably, look, arguably the best Carlton captain ever, arguably.
Yeah, well, they forgot about Jez's 80th last week, so they made sure to get his 86th. So
they forgot about a few things, but you're right. 80, 86, some great players, mate. That's been great.
Yep.
Thanks, Scotty.
No worries, guys. Love you all. Love the Jumper Punch sickos.
Yeah,
I'll see you when I see you. Love everyone, and up the baggers.
Go, the boys. It's time to go, and it's time to get in.
That's wicked.
Oh, I love that. It's time to go, but that's a emergency meeting. Here we go. One of my good friends and also a favorite of the channel, Bo Check. How are you, mate? Oh no.
Now we're good.
Now we're good. All right, good.
I was just going through my toxic checklist for the day.
All right,
Yeah.
go.
Bag the players, bag the club. You know, just getting things done.
Yeah. It's a toxic every day. Toxic. It's our fault. We're in this position. It's our fault.
Yeah.
So I thought before we go into it, we'll have a quick look. Where is it? Here it is. 11, 8, 74, 13, 15, 93. I believe before you get stuck into us, man, we made a little bit of a comeback at the end, kicked the thing, but at the end of the day, that really flattered us at 19 points or whatever it was. That was like a 10-goal loss by three-quarter time. We were 48 points down. They'd kicked 4-5 in that third. They should have been 70 points up, and then so I'm not gonna get fooled into this false gold about this little comeback at the end and we don't give up until the end and blah 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 blah. I'm not going to get sucked into any of this, man. It was a poor performance. Why weren't they there from the start? Poor crowd. We were stirring mark about poor crowds. We had 24,000 there, and I reckon that was a lie. So poor crowd, poor everything, mate. So I thought I'd get Bocek in there because we had a bit of an announcement with it didn't even need to be made. Right? They because of the Melbourne shit, they thought they'd come out and make this. It's not even an announcement. It means nothing. Right? Oh, we're just gonna do what he's contracted to do. Like there was nothing, like I don't get it. But anyway, they made the announcement. He also did do another decision where that banana in Matthew Lloyd, whatever, Lloyd's brother, another banana is going to be gone at the end of the year, the footy director. So he's another one. I can't believe we had a brother of a Essendon great on anywhere near our side.
The champion, Matty Lloyd, mate. Come on.
Right, the champion. And he should have played for Carlton if it was for another one more game that his dad played for Carlton, if you know that little story. But I thought I'd get Bocek in there, and it's open to the chat. If you've got any questions, I know there's going to be a lot of questions about Carlton, where we're at, the coach, the players. Mate, go for it, guys.
I ordered 3 new beanies today. Just thought I'd let you know. So I thought when you were talking about the announcement, I thought you were going to talk about the announcement that was made behind the goals from the Dortmund Wall of Ultras. I thought that's what you were going with. I thought you were talking about that announcement. Don't forget, get down to the W. You know what I'm saying? So
that was a bit of a shame. That thing there, they put up.
I thought that's where you were going.
What's it called?
Tipo.
They put a big tipo behind the goals that covered up the crowd. Tifo.
Hey.
There you go. The tifo behind it.
Just it's another week of here's the thing, and I don't know who said Vince said it on Forever Rivals. He says it every week now, right? The bar has been set so low that we're applauding comebacks and still losing the game. The bar's been set so low that we're applauding effort. We're applauding when we see a player go in for the ball rather than run away the other way, or rather than go in half-assed, right? We're literally, honestly, we're just in a position now. I think he puts it the best. The bar is so low that we have to just applaud something, right? And from my point of view, don't care, because the aim of the game is to win, not to put effort in, right? Yes, they go hand in hand, because if you put effort in, you're going to end up having a better chance of winning. I get that, right? But we're on rinse and repeat mode until the end of the season. Like you said the other night, Rocco, if we go and beat Port and we go and beat Essendon, or even if we go and lose to Port and beat Essendon, what's the matter? The results don't matter, right? All that matters now is a lot of what we've been seeing, which is we're seeing all the youngsters doing really well, right? Or at least showing promise of what can happen in next season.
Yep.
Which is great. Okay. Another thing we can hope for is things that are going on at the club. So, okay, Brad Lloyd's gone. Who's next? Who else do they sift through the list of coaches and backroom staff and whoever else it's going to be? Get rid of the dead wood. It's an exciting time in terms of, I wouldn't say a rebuild, but an exciting time in terms of freshening the place up for future endeavors, right? That is the only thing that I am worried about at this point. When they walk out this week, yeah, I'm going to have an absolute ball on the watch along. I don't care. Right? I love it. I'm having fun. Hey, on that note, you can win a $20 voucher to the AFL store this week. So get in, right?
Get in. It's going to be a big watch along, as it always is. So
yeah, and that's what I think. It's we're at a point now where how much can you possibly say after every game when it's the same thing over and over? However, flip side of that, I'm not all negative, believe it or not, right? The fourth quarter, right, that was great, okay? What we showed there was great. If we can do that for 3 out of 4 quarters, I'd be happy, right? Because then we're close to being a chance at winning games or potentially getting out to a lead first and foremost and defending the lead. 2 things we're terrible at. We can't defend a lead, right? So that is what I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see these young guys coming through who are showing great promise, and I'm excited to see what's going on at the club, and do they have, and this isn't me putting myself on top of them, it's just a figure of speech, do they have the brains to turn this stuff around?
I don't know. And this is the question we'll be asking and seeing in the next few months. You know, we've got Tom in the chat. He's been good with the chat, been lively with the chat.
He says there that we only showed something because Gold Coast had won the game. Yes, there plenty of times that other teams have put the queue in the rack, and we have to take that into consideration. I get it. But he also said before that we can't take things for granted, and we need to, I don't know, it was something along the lines of don't take things for granted, and
talk about living in the moment.
Right? So
happy when we're good and all that. And what I got to say about that is, I don't know, to Tom, mate, and all of you, I don't know what you want me to be happy about. Like, is that where we're at? So at the start of the year, we're a team that we have a generational spine, generational guys. That's what everyone said. We've got generational, right? And we're touted to make top 4 and possibly grand final team. Last year, halfway through the year, we're almost favourites to win the flag. And now what you want me to do is praise good effort. That's what we're up to now, because that's all I'm hearing. That was a good effort. I'm done with that, bro. I'm done with that. I'll praise. Effort should always be there. I shouldn't be praising effort. Effort is for kids. Oh, good boy. That's what effort is. When you're a grown athlete who's playing the biggest sport in Australia, I shouldn't praise you for your effort. The effort is always there, right? And now I've got to a stage where I am now praising effort and a good quarter. Are you serious? Like, is this where we're at? Standards, people. We need standards, mate. We need standards as a side, mate. This isn't good enough. It's not good enough. We've gone backwards, and now we're just praising the little things. We've praised Pitts kicks a goal from 60. Moya kicks 4 goals. All we're doing is we're just praising individual efforts. I'm done with that, bro. I'm done with it. Am I negative? Yeah. I am negative at the moment because I don't see anything that I'm happy with. while we got you there, we lost one person, but we got.
Oh,
There you
Jezza.
go. Get ready, mate. Jezza. How are you, mate?
We've
All
got
the
West
way.
Coast assistant coach.
Good
Yeah,
boys.
he's
How are
almost
we?
like so we've lost Liam for some reason, but we've got you. So we've got the better half there. So you can join into this conversation and maybe into the Carlton conversation. And I mean, West Coast, a little bit different, but you kind of get where I'm getting to here, man. Like, oh, here he is. He's decided to join us, has he?
Yeah.
All right.
There he is.
So, yeah, any questions? But that's where I'm at. I'm over just being happy with an effort. Like, that's where we get to. And what's happening is now we're moving the goalpost. Effort is just enough. Yeah, 1 quarter is enough. I see improvement. Well,
Rocco,
mate, what is going on?
Look, we think very similarly, right? We know that, right? But I see comments like I'm seeing tonight in the chat of cheering for the little things, or taking a little bit of solace in the small things that we have. That doesn't cut it with some of us. Maybe it cuts it with the new generation who haven't seen a flag and haven't seen Carlton at their best, right? I've seen a flag. You've seen a flag, right? We have something great to compare this rabble to. So it's incredibly hard to lower our standards and just enjoy some effort and enjoy the fact that we look better than we did 4 games ago, right? Which was still terrible, when you've seen the heights of the Carlton Football Club up here. That plays a part as well. I can't sit here and go, well done. You came back within 25 points. It was going to be 60, but well done. No. You lost the game. When I'm watching Chelsea play, if we're 3-0 down and we lose 3-2, no, it's still a loss. I don't care how you paint it. It's a loss. But like I said before, I am so excited for the new season. I'm over this season. This season's garbage, right? I'm excited to see if things do change next season. And whatever the plans are, we still don't really know. I want to see if there's an improvement and how much of an improvement we're going to get. Like, are we talking this is now going to be 2026, the year of let's just chill, get it right. We might finish 12th again, but let's go 2027, and that's when we'll start playing. Who knows, right? But for me, there's nothing else to talk about. I mean, we can sit here and talk about players, but we're going to say the exact same thing we've been saying for the rest of the season. I would love to say, and I know Lana's going to hate this, but just let me go off topic for a second. I don't think it's starting to feel like Silvani and TDK are not going anywhere, to me, right? If that's the case, here comes the toxicity. You ready? All right. For me, those 2 players will line up. Say for example, they line up in a Carlton Guernsey next year, right? I understand that Sauce or J Sauce was a free agent. He's eligible to, see his options and so on and so forth. And TDK is going to look at his options and so on and so forth. The minute a player at the football team that I support is starting to look at going elsewhere and just exploring options, I understand that we always have to keep that open, because we would do the same in life. If we were exploring options but still at our other job, we all do it. I get it. But in the context of what's going on there with a clubman that is all heart and soul for Carlton in the DNA, and then TDK who speaks about his mates and speaks about how much he loves being around his mates at the club and things like that, then how do we look at those 2 players next season if they line up for us, knowing that they were quite happy to leave but didn't find the right deal? For me, that's trash. I don't know how I could get behind 2 guys that contemplated leaving, and because they didn't get what they want, they'll fall on the backup.
Yeah, no, well,
I can't do that.
Jezza, what do you reckon, mate? You've heard all this and you're seeing it from afar. What do you think?
Oh, just a quick question on that. You're talking about players leaving and stuff. If you think back, we're all up in arms this year because our captain went and had a chat to a coach from another team. It was made public which was wrong on his behalf. It was just a mistake. It's not wrong, because it happens all the time. But if you think back, this all started actually when Judd actually left the Eagles, and he shopped himself to teams in Melbourne, and he chose what suited him best.
Yes.
And then you also had Adam Treloar come back, and he done the same thing. Now he got it wrong, but
Stupid.
so it's not a new thing. It's just a bit more in the public now. I'm a bit with you, boy. Checked out. For me, once a player is looking at leaving the club, I don't see why the club needs to be doing anything to try and keep them. They should be thinking, all right, well, let's see what we can get for you. We should be trying to get the best deal we can. Once their mind is not part of the club, then we should. Fremantle did it with Lobb. They held him to his contract. They said, no, you're a contracted player. We want you. They kept him for the extra year. He had a reasonably good year for them, but he's playing a lot better now than he was over there. So I don't think it works. If a player is thinking of leaving, we should just be letting them go.
Boom.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, and especially just quickly before you go, like a team like Carlton, yes, exactly, Matula, a wise words from Jezza, and everyone watch JP next week, because there might be someone special coming on next week. So a team like Carlton, where I believe the culture and the standards have completely dropped for years now, right? So we need to build up those standards. And if some player wants to leave, wants to go, and doesn't want to be part of that rebuild, we have to build this culture to a state where you want to be there and you want to win premierships, and that's all we want. And if you haven't got that, I think we've got to move on from these players. And even someone like Elijah Hollins, you know, what he's done, do we give him another chance? He's got a year on his contract, so probably yes. But, I mean, if you keep doing the same mistake, I don't care how good of a player is. We've got to get rid of that. We've got to get rid of that. Our culture is shot at the moment. And you can see, and not in the chat tonight, I think they're pretty good tonight, but you'll hear the narrative out there. People are so happy with the performance last week. This is where we fall into this trap of just being happy with mediocre performances. We shouldn't be happy with that. We should be disgusted. That is not good enough. You can't be. Even the other times when we were in a position to win and then we lost, and you go, oh, it was a good effort. No, we were in a position to win against Fremantle. We were in a position to win that. Why are you making excuses? They're a better side, but you're in front by 5 goals. Like, why are you making excuses? If you make those excuses, the players will just take it. And that's it. And then they won't give you that extra little bit that you need to be successful.
Yeah, I look, as harsh as it sounds and whatever else, I don't care. David Rees-Jones said it about 2-3 weeks ago, or maybe even longer. I can't remember. And he said it when he came onto the couch, right? For those that saw the episode. It was back in the day, it was a war zone mentality, right? You're going out there to fight. So for me, if you want to liken it to a war zone, right? If you're not a soldier ready to fight for this club, then go piss off.
Yep.
No military. I know it sounds funny, right? But I'm just making the example, right? No military is going to give a second chance to a soldier who's looking to go and fight for a bloody another country. Yeah, that's how I look at it, and it might be harsh. You play for Carlton, you are Carlton. The minute you start looking elsewhere, get out. Right? I don't care. It's as simple as that. We need 100% commitment from our players. We need 100% passion and pride for that Guernsey. And that is when the mentality will change. But it needs to be instilled from the back end. Right? I've said in the past that sometimes you can't teach mentality. No, but you can foster it. Right? And you can give them examples of other clubs. You can give them any type of life example where mentality goes a long way. Mars says it always. We do not have a winning mentality in this team. Okay? Right? And again, I know Rocco's just said it in the chat. I'm not comparing war to kicking a footy around. I'm talking, if you take it by the context is that if you're not with us, go away. Right? That's how harsh I want it to be. I want it to be as harsh as if it were in a war zone bloody situation, right?
Yeah,
it's not I'm not making a direct comparison. Let's
no, you can't. And I mean, they do it in like they, and don't get me wrong, they do it for Anzac Day. They compare it to like war, you know what I mean? And then they turn around and go, no,
it's
no,
exactly
war.
that. That's a spot on way to do it.
Saying is that do it for you. Like I've always said that if you do it for your mates, if you're not doing it for yourself, do it for your mates, do it for the person next to you. You know what I mean? You don't have to do it for the supporters, but do it for the bloke who's fighting next to you. And when I say fighting, I mean on the footy field. I don't believe we've got that at the moment. And this is why we're in the situation. And this is why we accept mediocre performances now. And
Can I ask you a question, Rocco? Can I ask you a question, Rocco? And actually, everyone on the panel right now can actually answer it, but for their own club, right? If you lose, let's say a cult hero at your club, right? So for West Coast, Richmond, Essendon, Carlton, right? And anyone in the chat that wants to answer this as well.
And we've all lost these cult heroes.
Correct, right? We all have. We've been through it multiple times. Man, when FEVOLA left Carlton, it was like, holy crap, man, my favorite player's going. But there's a silver lining here, right? So if one of your major players who is a cult hero and he plays extremely well for your club and you never thought you'd see him in another jumper, blah, blah, blah. If he takes off, right, a la Silvani, right? If he takes off and in 2, 3, 4 or 5 years down the track, you win a flag, are you going to remember that? Or are you going to remember what's going on then, which is the flag? Are you going to care that they left, or do you care about winning flags?
I'll have a go first. Now, you're absolutely right, mate. It doesn't matter who leaves your club. You look at Hawthorn, they lost Buddy Franklin. We all thought, oh, well, that's the end of Hawthorn. They still went and won another premiership without him. Gary Ablett left Geelong, same thing. They got over it. They moved on. And if you look at him, like he was, the son of one of the greatest players that played for Geelong as well. They thought, end of the world. They got over it. They got on with it. They got players in. They wanted to be there. They wanted to play for the team. They won premierships. They played consistent finals and stuff like that. So, yeah, you'll miss that player because you do support certain players in your team. Other than that, it's just the team. You go and watch the team. If the team wins a premiership, you're happy with the team that's out there, not with someone that left 4 or 5 years ago.
Exactly. And it happened with you. I mean, you talked about him before. I mean, you lost Chris Judd.
Yeah.
Like when he left, and you've gone on to win premierships, and he's probably one of your greatest ever players, So you did it, and I mean, Liam, you would have lost. Well, you lost Dusty, but you didn't lose. But if you win a premiership next year, you're not thinking about the team. Yeah, you didn't.
No, I think I've got to stick with old boy. He's done well. A couple players like Liam Baker, who's playing for you guys at the moment. I found it hard to see him go. He's another one of those cult heroes. There's real heart and soul players that we had, but you have to look at what we got in. We got some pretty good picks in, and we look at the players that they're going to be. Are they going to be in our next premiership side? Yes. Would Liam Baker have been in our next premiership side? Maybe not. So while I'm grateful for everything that he did and all that he achieved with us, it's okay. And then to think even further back, just the other example that I had in my head was Brett Delidio. He was a gun player. He was one of my favorite players growing up as a kid. He left just before we won. So obviously I feel a little bit of a soft spot for him because it's kind of, he's a great player. I always liked him, always supported him. But end of the day, 27, I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, the team that I support, the team that I've grown up watching, wanting to win premierships my whole time, has finally done it. And that's what matters most. It's the badge, as we say. I support 100%. Richmond. Whoever said, that's what I support. I know you guys feel the same.
Yeah, 100%.
I was going to say Mark's probably got a similar answer.
And Mark,
To be quite honest, guys, Joe Danaher obviously leaving the Essendon Football Club.
Yes, there you go, man. Like you lose Joe Danaher.
Went to Brisbane and won a flag there, so disappointed. Obviously the Danaher brothers always play for the Essendon Football Club, but Draper, and we were referring to players leaving and so forth. It's all about media. Everyone's saying that Draper's going to go to Adelaide or he might go to Brisbane and get close to what Joe Danaher done. But at one stage, a bit of media again that he might stay at the Essendon Football Club. So we're all jumping to conclusions. You're telling me that you don't want TDK to play at Carlton, and these players, you say, if you don't want to play, piss off and go. Mate, you need to keep those players. We need to keep those players.
What if they don't want to be there, Mark?
Well, mate, Rocco, do you know that? Do you know the person? Do you know what the managers are, what they're talking about? We don't know that, mate. We just jump into speculations about, if you want to leave, piss off and go. But at the end of the day,
if you're getting someone like Silvani who's talked to 3 rival clubs.
Do you know that for a fact? Do you know that for 100%?
Yeah, well, Collingwood come out and said it.
Well, that's all media speculations again, Rocco.
No, McRae
came out and said it.
McRae come out and said he spoke to Silvani.
Okay, so obviously then Silvani just wants to 100% leave the club, right?
I don't know, but what I'm saying is I don't know if they do or they don't, right? I don't know what that's. All I'm saying is you don't want to be there. I don't care. Go.
Spot
right?
on. 100%.
And move on to the next person. I don't really care. I don't follow Silvani.
No, you
I
don't.
follow the Carlton Football Club. I don't follow TDK. I don't care. You know what I mean? And the problem is with
Carlton need to have those players continuously playing for the next year. You guys have got a massive, great list out there, and unfortunately, this year didn't go your way. I'm talking about Carlton here, which I fucking hate these spuds. But I believe, looking from another supporter's point of view, Carlton should have been at least in the top 4 this year. Something's gone wrong in the club. I don't know what it is, but you've got a great list of players: Curnow, Mackay's, the Witherings. You've got Cripps. You've got Walsh. You've got Sard. You've got so many players in your list that have been playing all year, and for some particular reason, something's gone wrong.
Yes, I agree.
We've been discussing that.
I don't think it's the players. I think there's something else that's gone wrong in the club. We can keep on blaming, and you've even got TDK. You've got these great players. Your coach is going to stay for another 12 months.
Are they great, or do that Carlton people elevate this group into something that it isn't?
Well, that's your list.
Media does too.
Your list was capable of winning, a lot more games this year, Rocco. They usually
maybe a lot more games, but is it as good as everyone thinks? Maybe we just overrated it.
Well, possibly. Well, then what do you do? Why are you keeping the coach again? Why is Boss staying for another year? If you guys
you're on the outside, you saw what happened.
Well, I believe I don't even know why the bloody hell was this board meeting when Voss has got another 12 months in his contract. Why bring up a board meeting? What's the point of it? Let it go.
But capability.
Sorry, go.
No. I was going to say, being capable of doing something and doing it are 2 different things. I'm capable of delivering a baby. It's not like I'm going to go do it, right? So the reality of the Carlton Football Club is that they're probably the team's probably capable of winning, but they're not going out there and doing it.
So where's it? Well, you got the players to do that. That's the key.
But this is debatable, though. This is very debatable because names alone and past experiences and past records and what they've been able to do in 22 and 23 and 24 and whatever else, right? That's not guaranteed every season, Mark.
It's
right?
not.
No, it's not. So, like you said, something has gone wrong, whether it be in the complete back end of the club, and that's filtered through, which I believe a lot of it, or not a lot of it, but part of it is. I call it the poison. Right, Alice Cooper, what's up? Right, then on top of that, there's clear issues with the game plan. Clear, right? Yeah. It can't be any clearer. So we can sit here and discuss all the different things that are wrong, and for the most part, we'd probably agree on all of it. Even outsiders would agree if they just watch some Carlton games, right? But we can't sit here and go, oh, we have the list for it. They should be able to do that. That's to me it's a cop out. Because we have Cripps as a Brownlow medalist and we have 2 Coleman medalists, doesn't mean that we are going to win games.
You boys would have been confident at the start of the year that you guys would have been a lot more further up the ladder than what you think.
Yeah, and you know what? No. You're right. I think most of us picked us at least to be in top 8.
With the list that you've got.
Well, I'm sinister, man. I had us at 13th.
Yeah, I know. Some people did have us out of the 8.
I'm a disgrace, man.
Yeah.
No, but you're not wrong. You weren't wrong.
I wasn't wrong, but I mean, what a disgrace.
No, you weren't wrong. You're being honest. But all I'm saying is, and then keeping Voss, that's debatable. There's either now Voss, there's for and against this bloke. As I said last night, what have I seen in the last 4 years that gives me confidence that he's going to do anything different next year? I don't see anything different. I don't see anything different in Graham Wright in his answers that he gave. Like, he didn't look confident at all. So, and then the other thing is, I'm now thinking, this is a bigger plan for a few years. Do they really want Voss, or are they just keeping him there for something bigger later on? Because there's no need to change it right now, So is that the case? Like, if you're that confident in Voss, you answer this, Jezza. Do you think I'm right? If you're that confident in Voss, let's say you want to make sure that everyone understands that you back this coach, give him another 2 years on top of his contract.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's the thing. I mean, obviously, we kept an eye on that last week. Like I said, it was a 5-hour board meeting to decide that a coach that already had a contract could stay.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I agree with Mark a bit. From the outside looking in, as a non-Carlton supporter, you look at it and you think, yeah, on paper, you guys have a really good team. I had you in the 8 this year after what I saw last year. But clearly, that didn't happen. So was it injuries? Is it form? Like I said, that game that I saw you guys play over in Melbourne against Collingwood, to me, I thought it was effort. I thought it was on-ground effort. There was players out there that clearly just couldn't be stuffed. To not be able to talk about how you get up for a game against an opposition team, you get fired up, Carlton, Collingwood, West Coast Freo, Richmond, whoever they beat up, Collingwood, I guess. But you can get up for it, but that wasn't there. So where's the motivation? I think you mentioned quite a while ago there, Rocky. You said, where's the motivation for Carlton to be any good? You go out and win teams. You have good sponsorship. You got plenty of good players. The club is rich. So is there an incentive for you guys to be any better? Maybe that's got into the whole club, and that's their mentality. Think, you know what? We're getting paid good money. We go out, 65,000 people rock up and watch us and think, like you said, we've had a pretty good effort. So is that now acceptable? So is that what the coaches brought to them? Is that the players? Is it the training regime? I know you guys are very hot on your board and stuff like that. And it's interesting you say that, because I was listening to Glenn Jakovich on 6PR over here the other week, and he absolutely unloaded on the West Coast Eagles board. He said they are on there simply to say, we are on the West Coast Eagles board. Not a single board member has come out in support of the club this year. We've had a terrible year. So it's one of those things, is have they made the right decision in keeping Voss? Or was their hand forced when Mate got sacked at Melbourne? Did they think, oh shit, who's available? So now you've turned around, Simpson's gone, no, I'm not interested in Melbourne. Longmore's gone, no, I'm not interested in Melbourne. So the only person left now is Nathan Buckley. Would Carlton look at someone that coached Collingwood? You tried it before with Mick Malthouse, and that was a disaster. So maybe you guys were forced into thinking, okay, let's just see what happens at the end of next year as far as what coaches are available. Ken Hinckley was around a bit, but I think he's made it clear he'd prefer to have the year off. So if he's going to come from one club that hasn't played a grand final, does he want to come to another one that's maybe on the cusp or not on the cusp? So I think Carlton made the decision because I think Melbourne made their decision after a win, by the way, which was a big surprise. I would have thought after losing that badly in a quarter to St. Kilda, I thought that's, if they were going to not go with him, I thought they should have done it after then. But so I think that's why they kept Voss. I think they couldn't see who was out there in the market that would have been any better.
Well, the thing is that we heard this, and I believe it's true. And to tell you the truth, I've had word that it was true, so I'm going to leave it at that. But I mean, Sam McClure came out on TV, and then he said he spoke to the club, and they denied it, and he still went out and said it on TV and backed himself up. Usually they go up and they ask the club, and they know people in the club, and if they tell them that it's not true, they take it because they like to keep a good, like a good bond between two, your sources and that. But he's come out, he said they spoke to other coaches, and he did speak to a coach that is now a coach at the moment, and they said no. If that's true, and I think it is, I'm going to go with it's true, right? If that's true, what confidence does that give that Voss is their man?
Yeah. That's like I said, maybe they're worried about who else is available.
Exactly. So I said this the other night. It's like going out and telling your wife, I'm going out tonight, but if I find someone else, you better not be home when I walk through the door. Like, that's what that feels like, right? So it's a bit like that, because they're saying, no, we spoke to these other people. They're not really available. No, he's the man. What do you mean he's the man? If that was available, he wasn't going to be the man. That's what I'm getting out of it, right? And again, all the narrative in the email they put out, all that was into, like, they're just words. But when you write an email, especially, they've got lawyers and professional media people writing these emails. They don't fuck around, because they're going out to hundreds of thousands of people, yeah? So they write a thing and saying into 2026, not for 2026. It's just into 2026. What does that mean? You know what I mean? No one signed it. It just was sent out by the Carlton Football Club. And then I think a bit of the heat came on, right, and he does this interview. And even the interview was just a little bit like, when they asked him the decision about Voss, why did you all come to this decision? If you listen to his answer, there's nothing there. We all agreed. Like, what did you agree on? Like, let us know what you agreed on. Like, there was none of that, it's all very vague, and that does not give me confidence. So how else am I supposed to feel now? I'm not confident in their decision.
I'm the complete opposite way. I legitimately think that this is what we, as people that don't think Voss is the right guy for the job, I legitimately think get ready for 26 and Voss until the end. I don't like it, but I seriously think I'd got no idea what it could possibly be, but that gave him the reason to keep him. But I seriously think we're about to get a full another season with Voss, and they've got some other plans.
What if we're 2-10? What by the halfway mark? We're 2-10. You still think they keep him to the end?
I legitimately think so. I don't think it's right. If we go 0-5, right, and we're sitting here calling for his head, which we would be, right? Yeah, I legitimately think something. I don't see this guy being booted out for some reason. I want him to, but I don't. I've got some weird feeling that they're gonna send him on another year. Rocco, I predicted 13 this year. All right.
I hope Ryan and all that have got a plan, and of course, don't get me wrong, people. Don't think it's just Voss. Like, I don't like Voss.
No, exactly.
But that's me. And you know what? If we win the next premiership, right, while he's there, I'm wearing a big top with the Voss face on it, and I'm saying I was wrong. Voss is the greatest of all. I'll wear it every week. I don't care. I want to be wrong. I want to win premiership. I just don't believe he's the right person. They don't give me confidence. But don't think it's just Voss. I do believe that the list there has to be changes in the list. They're already making a change with the footy director there. There's got to be some other changes, and there's also got to be assistant coaches that have got to get around him, because all the narrative is that he needs help. We need to get Ken Hinkley in there because he's going to help him. Assistant coaches are going to help him. I think Bocek in our chat, he come up with a good point. It's always the bloody assistant coach's fault. It's, we need more assistant. We need better. You know what? How about we get rid of Voss and we just put in the assistant coaches then? If he's not the one, if we need all these people around him to make him better, what's he doing there? What's he doing there? I don't get it. I don't think he's the right man. I don't think he's the right man. You tell me in 4 years in this playing system, what have you seen that gives you confidence? Nothing.
So the way that I described it was, exactly. Yeah, I said that the other day. And the way I described it was, if people want to, the people that, and we might have some in the chat right now, I'd like to hear from them. If you're Voss in, right, and you believe that he's the right man for the job, he just needs the right support around him. Cool. Say, for example, they get the right support around him and it doesn't work. Then what happens? Okay, then whose fault is it? Then there's another way this can go. If it's the right support, and there's all this talk about how the assistants are very important in order for Voss to shine, I guess, or win games for shit's sake, right? If that's the case, right? Exactly what Rocco said before. I go, I don't know. Let's just throw some logic in there. If it's not Voss and it's the assistants, get rid of the head coach. Let's have four or five assistant coaches in there. We'll be the first AFL team to make history with no head coach, and we'll just go in there with assistants. And then if you tell me, oh, but we need a head coach, are you serious? What the hell? Then he must be part of the blame. So which way do you want to go with it?
Can't have them both.
Which way do you want to go with it? Exactly. Right. So I likened it to the EPL, right? And very, very, loosely, because it's a whole different situation. We understand that, assistant coaches in AFL have a lot more pull and a lot more responsibility when it comes to game day, and also in the lead up to, we understand that, right? But not once have I ever in my life, and Rocco, you've said this as well, not once have I ever heard in my life, right, when things go to shit with a team in any other sporting code, it's the goalkeeping coach's fault. Must be the forwards coach fault, right? Never. It's always on the head coach. Because at the end of the day, those assistants can say what they want. The person that puts it into principle and gives it the AOK, who's that?
The coach.
Oh,
That's
it.
I like this one.
I'll make one interesting point.
Carlton was the first team in the VFL 120 years ago to appoint a coach, and it was a success because there was no coaches before that, apparently. And then they thought, we'll appoint a coach, and now we might just flip it and get rid of the coach. How's that sound?
I wouldn't have known that from Rocco. Yeah, that's okay. There you go. Let's go the opposite way. Let's just chuck 5 guys in there, and they can just do it without the head coach.
No, I just wanted to say, Melbourne just sacked their coach, right? So Troy Chaplin's come in, and he was an assistant, and he stepped up as interim. He came out and he said, "Yep, I enjoyed coaching, and I want to go, like, I want to be a full-time coach." Look at the result that they had on the weekend. Melbourne have been struggling this year. Bulldogs are a pretty good team. It's a 1-goal game.
Yeah,
and he's an assistant coach. He's been with that team all year, and he came out, and because I watched the start of that game, he had different plans. He had a couple players in different positions. So, and this is the guy that's already on their coaching list. So, when you think, the assistant's fault, is it? I don't know.
So what you're
he came
saying
in, he stepped up and did a pretty good job, and he's been there all this time.
So what you're saying is, even though the assistants have their say and all that, at the end of the day, you put an assistant in that role, and all of a sudden it changes a little bit because he's got his ideas on how the game should be played. And they might be just small changes, you know what I mean? But they make a huge difference to the way you set up, the way you move the ball, who plays where. So again, I'm not all like everyone thinks that I hate Voss, and it's not that. I haven't seen any evidence. I just haven't seen.
You know what, Rocco? Rocco, we've been on the show for the last 3 years, mate. It's obviously called the Fourever Rivals, and it's the Carlton, Collingwood, Essendon, Richmond show at the end of the day. And this would be probably the first time in 2 weeks that all 4 rivals have lost.
No, last week.
I think there's maybe one at a time.
Who won last week?
Who won last week? No one won last week.
And then this week again.
Yeah, so 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
We're just a bunch of duds, man.
3 years that we've been on this show.
And next week we'll probably all lose again.
Well, that's exactly what we're saying. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. it's amazing how these big clubs now are not up there the way they used to be years ago, and that's something that we need to try and fight for, because we don't want to start losing these big clubs, mate. We needed to perform. We needed to be there every week, and and we need them for the supporters. But yeah, I've just noticed, mate, it's a bit of a record that
except for, let's be honest, except for Collingwood, they have been up there for the last few years, so you can't really put them in the same boat.
Okay. All right.
They're going to fail this year.
Wouldn't you laugh if out of all of us, the first person to celebrate a flag is Jezza after everything? Like, it just ends up being West Coast somehow, and you're like, what the hell is going on?
The way West Coast played on the weekend,
It could happen. It could happen.
Quite surprising.
They played well.
Can I just say one thing on the coaches' side of it?
They could have won that game. They tanked, mate. They wanted.
What are we tanking for? We're already getting the wooden spoon. We're already getting the number 1 draft pick. Really good compensation when Allen goes to Brisbane.
2 points, which means second last. Who's second last? Is it Richmond or
North Melbourne?
North. There you go. See,
West Coast can't tank. They already have the spoon in the bank.
We've already got the wooden spoon. Don't worry about that. Can I just say one thing on the coaches? All right, we talk about all the coaches. Do you think a coach like, say, Mick Malthouse or Kevin Sheedy or one of these guys would coach the teams the way they are now? Because I've been watching footy when those guys were the head coaches and stuff like that. They didn't take any prisoners with the media, with their players, with the trainers. They called it as it was. Even what's his name, old Malcolm Blight, when he had that. I think was a pitiful player. So are the coaches now? And I think we mentioned this the other week. Is like you can't rip into the players like you used to. Is that a problem now? Because we just try to be nice and make sure everyone's happy and don't come out and say anything too controversial and stuff like that. I mean, understand, we know that's society. It's not just footy. But those coaches, if they were coaching these teams at the moment, they wouldn't be accepting what's in front of them at the moment. They wouldn't be accepting players playing the way they are. It's the same as back, when Malthouse was over here with the Eagles. When he came over to the Eagles first, the first thing he went to a few of the players from a team that Liam and I aren't particularly fond of, Claremont, private school boys, and he said, thanks, Dad, see you later. Don't play the game the way it needs to be played at IFL level.
Yep.
See you later. We need hard players. Players are going to put their nose over the ball, get in there, get a few hits on, be hard in the contest, tackle hard, chase hard. And if you didn't, guess what? You would cop it. You would cop it maybe on the ground, maybe in the rooms afterwards, or whatever, you would cop it. But now you see a coach give us a spray to his team after a poor performance in a quarter, and it's the biggest story added around. You're like, who gives a shit? Who cares? That's exactly what should be happening. If you've gone out there and not executed the game plan the way the coach has asked you to do it, I think he's perfectly within his rights to have a crack at you. So why are we so soft on players at the moment? Is the coaches are not allowed to be how they want to be?
Yeah.
It's just like here, Jezza. We can't say, you can't say nothing at work now.
No, I know that. Yeah, exactly.
And now it's an extension onto the ground. So if you say something, the media is going to jump on you and say, "Oh, you can't be yelling at that player, or you can't be swearing," because they're going to get like sad about it. So I think those coaches couldn't coach now. Like Robert Walls, there is no way Robert Walls could ever coach now, right? No. He would be crucified. You know what I mean? So so now you've got to be a bit of a person manager, a man manager, be able to manage so many different personalities to all reach the same goal, and that's like, one person needs a cuddle and the next person needs a smack in the back of their head, and you got to know which one, because if you smack the wrong person in the back of the head, well, guess what? Not only you get berated, that person takes time off, so it's tough.
I was going to
say before you go, I just want to get these messages up. Rocco, admit that you just hate Voss. I don't hate Voss.
There's no
I've got nothing
context taken by
to
anybody.
worry.
I swear.
All I'll have to say is Carl's kind of answered the question for me. After 3 years, there is no clear indication, no sustained improvement, and nothing to say Voss is the man to take us forward. That's my feelings. It's got nothing against. With the list that I got, I haven't seen no improvement. So when you go, why don't you like him? Because you haven't seen anything. I haven't seen it. Like, show me. If I saw something, then I'd go, mate, I can see something. Even over the weekend, I saw the same shit again. After the announcement, I saw the same shit again. It's the same shit again, mate. Like, so what have I seen? Show me what I've seen. No game plan. They played the same system. Still fair enough. Some of the kids have come on, and I'm happy with that. But you know what? Let's not give that too much too, because if you play enough young kids, you're going to get some sort of improvement by these kids. So let's not make it that it's such a magical thing that we're playing some kids and they're showing something. Man, these kids have got talent. They're going to show something if you're going to give them some time out there. So, no, I don't hate Voss. I just don't see that he's the man to take us forward. And I hope he proves me wrong.
So, Jezza, what you said before about how society is now and so on and so forth, and then Rocco obviously said some things as well. The issue, and I've been pushing this for a long time now, pretty much this entire season, last season, year before that, the minute I saw it creeping into the club, right? The issue is with Carlton is that they take that and embrace it and go tenfold. And that is what I believe a lot of our club has been poisoned by. And it's filtered through into the playing group and into the coaching group. So I completely agree. And look, we have a comment here saying, what do you mean, Robert Walls? Of course he can't coach now. Didn't he pass away? That is funny. Yeah. Okay. Right. Just
trying to be funny.
Context, my friend. Context, right? So, I totally agree. I wish we had coaches that would do things like that these days. I wish that was still the case. Even though, we're in a different year and so on and so forth. I'm sorry, there is nobody telling, right? I know players are protected because of mental health and you can't say this and you can't say that because they'll need their 4 weeks off. I get it. But, go do a podcast about it in the meantime. I get all that, but I'm sorry. If you have that sort of mentality in a coach and the players can't handle that, you don't belong in that club. Go get players that want to be in a footy club. I said, what was it, 3 weeks ago, Rocco, about that local footy feel. When you go in there, it just feels like grit and grunt, and they're going to get bloody sprayed if they do terribly and all that. Where is that? Instead, now the players just get babied, and they're babied from within. And when they're constantly looking to virtue signal and do all this stuff outside of footy and keep these people happy and keep those people happy and this day and that day and this celebration, mate, it's not even, to me, this isn't even, is it even a footy club anymore? In the literal sense, yes. But you know what I'm saying? I can't work it out why they can't just go in there and say what needs to be said. It kills me.
It's a sign.
I think there's probably two coaches in the league that are on the edge still, where they get their point across fairly soon. Chris Scott down at Geelong, and I reckon Dimmer up at Gold Coast. They still can give their players a bit of a clip, and the media and that sort of stuff, but they're very, very good at it. And you can see they're on the edge. They know the limit that they can push to, and they absolutely do.
What about
you
Bevo?
can see the way their teams are going. I mean, Geelong is one of the most successful teams at the moment. Gold Coast are getting there, of course. They got some big games coming up, and they might play finals this year. But those are the sorts of coaches. If you look back at Nimmer back when he was coaching Richmond, I mean, there was that documentary I think where we saw him where they were in the club rooms where he was talking about it, and believe me, man, he let the boys have it. He wasn't holding back on what his feelings was and how they played and how they executed the game plan. And if you can't handle that, and we're not, I know everyone says, oh, you don't need to curse and swear to get your point across. It's not to get your point across. It's just to emphasize how upset you are with a certain situation. And sometimes a good curse and swear is just what you need to do,
Yeah,
Like, what did Nimmer say there? Was it like, we got our arse kicked or we're just soft or whatever it was, and everyone was jumping all over it and saying,
Oh, he said
it's hard. It's hard to watch some of the coaches having to come out and say, yeah, look, we tried our best. We have issues, we have injuries, we have this, and you want a coach to come out and say, we just didn't play well enough. We just didn't play well enough. We didn't execute the game plan. That's why we lost. Plain and simple. And I think as fans, you would accept that. You would accept it.
Yeah.
Then you know where you are. Don't come out and say, oh, yeah, we got this, we got that. No, you didn't. You played shit. You played shit for a game of footy and you lost. That's why you lost.
And
I was thinking back,
so
back there. Sorry, guys.
I was so disappointed that Dimmer didn't come to the Bombers, mate. I think we might have given the option to come over, and he didn't want to come over. But I was devastated when obviously played for Essendon. He went to Richmond, and from there onwards, I thought, nah, we got no other coach that can take us anywhere. So spewing that Dimmer didn't come to the Bombers, which he should have, and he's going to win a premiership for Gold Coast, mate. I'll tell you right now, he will win. If it's not this year, it'll be the next year.
I love his coaching style, and you can see what he's done with Gold Coast in just 2 years. The way they play their game,
yeah.
And if people the coach, like I heard yesterday that someone was saying, but Cohen's been playing the same game plan for 3 coaches now. Well, what are you talking about, mate? Yeah. Like, seriously, a coach changes a game plan over a season or two. That's what they're there to do. You know what I mean? And it's just, look, it's just a different world we live in now, and it is what it is. But I think a bit of hard love doesn't hurt, man. A little bit of hard love. And another thing I'll say about that is, think about this. If you respect the coach and he gives you a little bit of hard loving, you won't take it personally. You will take that and you would go on and you would try to do your best for that guy, because he's telling you for your own good. It's like your father. If your father's telling you something, sometimes he's a bit hard on you, but he's not telling you because he hates you. Like, he's telling you because he wants the best for you, And if you take that personally, well, there's something wrong with you, you know what I mean? And I think now, like with Carlton, mate, do they really respect Voss's game plan and the way he coaches? Do they? I have to question that because I'm not seeing it. And then when you get players wanting to leave, what does that tell you? If you're happy at a place and you're comfortable in where they're going, you don't want to leave. Some players leave for money, yes, but majority stay and want to win premierships with their mates if they think they can see that coming up. I don't think the players can see that.
I'm happy, Rocco, for Carlton not to win the flag for another 30 years, mate.
Well, I'll know that you'll be right next to us holding our hands the way things are going, mate. I reckon just worry about 2 weeks' time when we're going to have a 0-0 draw next Thursday when we play, man.
I might have my spud outfit going, mate. I might have.
Well, one of us is gonna end the year with a big spud, mate. So that's it.
Hey,
we'll make it a big night. We'll make it a big night, mate.
Mark.
Yes, Bella.
Are you coming to the live show?
It's my daughter's 16th or sweet 16th birthday that night, so I'll have to juggle it a little bit. I'd love to come. Honestly, I was planning on going, but it's my daughter's sweet 16th.
Look after your family, man. That's the main thing.
It's going to be a big night. Her friends are coming over, and also a bit of family. So
beautiful.
I would have loved to have gone, Rocco. That I would have been there, mate, for sure. But we'll have to make it for another time, boys.
We'll catch up with something else for sure. All right, man, that's been a good discussion. Just quickly before you go, Jezza, West Coast this week, what do you reckon?
Western Bulldogs haven't got the back line to look after their forwards. I think we might get a little bit of a touch-up this week. We don't play that stadium particularly well. They got a big fella, Darcy, young fella down there. He's a bit too good at the moment. Norton's playing well at the moment. Bontempelli is going well. I just don't think we got the right matchups for that team at the moment. So So I think we could be, and plus there's a hell of a lot on the line for the Bulldogs. They're still in contention to play finals, so they'll probably see this as an opportunity to get maybe a percentage boosting win. Like I said, we haven't really been belted a lot this year, as much as we were previous. So, but I thought we were going to get belted by Adelaide on the weekend, and we came out and that was probably one of our best games for a long time. The improvement that we saw, was really, really good. But geez, I don't see us being able to do that against the Bulldogs. They're playing
It's
really
gonna
well
be
at the moment. So
very tough. I think you're a bit like all of us, just waiting for the season to finish and let's reset for next year. That's it. All right, man. Thank you very much, Jezza. You've been great again. Great to get your input.
no worries, boys. Thanks for having us on. Marco, good to see you back, mate.
Thanks, Jezza. Appreciate it.
And
Nice
we'll
to see
catch you again, lads.
See you,
ya,
mate.
Jezza.
All right. See you guys.
Very good, man. He's a star.
Awesome,
Man. He's a
awesome.
I can't look at him and not think there should be.
He's a
he
coach.
should be.
Yeah,
He needs a phone in his hand or something and a headset. Like
Like a
just
coach.
he looks the part.
Yeah.
It's so weird, man. Like he looks the part.
Supporting a special guest. He's like an aura.
Yeah, man. He legitimately looks the part. It's not.
Yeah.
And when he speaks, hey, Liam, man, like you growing up, when he speaks, it's like with a bit of authority there, man. Like you tend to listen to him. So no, he's
Where do you think I get my footy knowledge from, boys? This is what we do. That's how we get.
It's fantastic.
That's good, man. That's what they say. Oh, it's just a game, but is it? I mean, I go to the footy with my son every week and my daughter and now Mars, and every week we spend it and we talk about it. And people go, "Oh, it's just a game. Get over it." Is it? Like it's something to talk about. It's what bonds us, So, and that's it. We've got this up here, so I didn't put this up. So the Adelaide Crows are up on top.
Adelaide, Geelong. Where's Collingwood?
Collingwood and slowly slipping. And I think by this week Brisbane will win, Fremantle will win, Gold Coast will win, Hawthorn will win. They might end up like 7th by the time they get down to bloody.
There's a few good matchups in the top 8 this week, isn't there?
That's good. And then us three, you got Richmond down at 16th.
Yep.
You got we're all 14, 15, 16. Look at that.
We could finish on the same amount of points as he goes.
Bloody
We
hell.
really could.
Just quietly, man. I'm telling you now, we're 2 games in front. So, yeah.
But I'm telling you, that's the thing, mate. We're going to catch you guys.
Yeah, hey, Liam, that's what I'm saying, mate. We want you to.
You're tanking, mate. We're playing to win.
That's right. That's okay. We just get the extra draft pick there a little bit.
And before we go, he set up the grouse drawing today. Rocco just looking the same there. There goes. Look at Marco and Liam just again, and then we've got no regrets here with me on his mind.
Look at Rocco. Rocco, what's happened to you, mate?
Every week, mate. He makes me look older and older every week.
Like you've aged 30 years.
Far out, mate. Look, I look like I'm 80 there, man. Take it easy, man. Look at this, mate. There's no way I look that old.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Anyway, doing a good job, man. The Suns, and that's Big King taking a mark over Lewis Young. Yeah, the Sainers just go. The Cats, just finished them off. This one's the best one here. The Hawks crushed the slumping Pies. Look at this. Big pie underneath him. A big pie. A magpie.
The cold pie. Cold pie.
Are you going to stay around, Bocek, to do the tips?
I was thinking of moving to Burma.
What's that got to do with it?
I just had look, I had to get a Seinfeld reference in there for Rocco Moro, right?
You should have got it when Jesse was on, mate. He loves that show.
Yeah, I'll remember for next time. I'll just throw it in out of context.
You're right. Brisbane and Freo can't both win. They play. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So one of them will lose. but they'll win the week after.
Hmm.
And then it's all over. And then the Suns will smash Essendon in the last Wednesday game, and they will kick Collingwood out. Hey,
Correct.
you tell me something. Would you want? All right, so this is the scenario. The Wednesday game, the Suns win by 60 points, and they kick Collingwood out. Who are you going for?
Oh,
Mark?
that's like this, yeah.
I don't know. What, to win the flag or to go for what do you mean?
48. They're playing on the Wednesday against Essendon, the last game, the extra game they're playing.
Right.
They need to beat Essendon by 60 points,
Yeah.
right, to kick Collingwood out of the 8.
Fuck, I hope Gold Coast beat us by 100 points.
There we go, mate.
Now that's a rival. That's a rival answer,
Oh,
mate. That
there
is
we
a
go.
rival answer, mate.
We love it, mate.
Because
We
if
love
we
it.
can't win it, no one can win
One
it.
has
mate.
to win it. That's right.
I
Exactly.
agree.
Beautiful, mate. Yeah.
All right, let's go through these teams.
Oh, boy.
And here we go. We got the first game.
But this, mate, it's it is that team we like, the Essendon Bombers versus St Kilda. And mate, I hate tipping it through me every single time. But I watched them live. They really do suck. And Essendon have to get one win to finish the season.
Yeah, Carlton.
Surely. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to back you in. I'm going to stick with Essendon.
Good on you, Liam.
Let's lock them in.
All right.
Oh, boy. I hope
I
it's a
know
draw.
Marco's going to go for Essendon.
Yeah, I think the game's going to be a lot closer than what we all think, mate. So,
It will, mate.
and if we're not thinking about tanking the game, I think Essendon by 2 points.
That's fair.
Interesting. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I think Saints will do it. I think Saints will do it for sure. I think Essendon are just going to tank for the rest of the year now. They're done. They'll probably put all their cards into the last game.
Or against Carlton.
No, well, I meant Carlton. Yeah, not. I reckon the Suns and St Kilda, you're done. But I reckon you're going to put all your cards into Carlton.
That's it, mate. I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Bojack, who are you picking?
Yeah, Saints all day.
Yeah, all day, every day. Next game, next.
Well, I know I'm so excited about the Essendon St Kilda matchup, but I won't be watching it because Fremantle and Brisbane is on at the same time Friday night. That is going to be a really good matchup. It really is. Two top teams, potential top 4 spots on the line here. I want to go for another bit of an upset here. I think Brisbane are going to do it. Fremantle are due for a loss. Brisbane, at their best, they are a very good team, but at their worst, they've shown that they can be beaten. But I have a feeling Fremantle are due for a loss. And I think Brisbane are going to get them. It'll be a close game as well, but I'm going to take a risk. I'm going all in these last 2 weeks.
No, you have to.
I want to win.
Marco.
Yeah, I predicted about 10 weeks ago that Fremantle will make the grand final this year, and they've won the last 10 games. So at home, I think Freo will win by 20 points.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. I think Brisbane showed last week, I mean, they lost to the Swans, but they made a big comeback. They kicked 3 goals in like 1 minute in the last minute to bring it back to 2 points. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm going Fremantle this week just because it's at home. Will Brisbane be losing 2 games in a row? Yeah, I think they will. Yeah, Fremantle for me. Bojack.
I'm going with Brisbane, but I really think Fremantle are exciting to watch. To be honest, they've got some real passionate heads in there. They're good to watch, and it's going to be close. But I think Brisbane will just do enough.
All right, they upset. Next. Oh, this one's another good game, man. There's good games this week.
It is, mate. It is. It's another good top 8 matchup. Gold Coast versus the Giants. Giants have been another one of those teams, inconsistent at their best, very good at their worst. They're not a good team. Gold Coast have honestly, I was fearful at the start of the season to tip them in these games, but they've proved over and over again that they can beat good teams. They're flying. It's at home. Gold Coast getting it done.
Fucking hell, this is a tough
Flip of the coin. Flip of the coin, boys. Flip of the coin for me.
I like it.
This is a good.
All right, we have got tails. GWS.
Fucking hell.
Rocco's stressing out over a tip.
Because you'll see why when I show you the ladder. I'm gonna go far out. I'm gonna go
Is
Giants.
Rocco going to toss the coin here?
It's almost a toss of the coin, but I'm gonna go Giants. I'm gonna go Giants. And you? What did you say, Bocek?
Gold Coast.
Oh wow. All right. Next. Oh, the big game.
What a game.
Boys.
This is prime.
Is this on at the same time as the Gold Coast one?
No, it's like an hour later, I think. It's like at 1:20 and the Gold Coast is at 12:30 or something. So
I can tune in for the last little bit when Port Adelaide are already ahead. Nah. I actually think you guys know this one. Port aren't traveling too well. I know they've been playing some better football, but I don't know if you guys are committed to your coach and committed to being a good team. I don't know. Nah, I just have a feeling you might get up. If it was in Adelaide, I wouldn't tip you, but
yeah, I'm the same. I'm only going to say this is the type of game we will win. They're not traveling too good. This is the type of game. It's going to be a scrappy game. I reckon we might just win this one, but I'm saying this with no confidence, but I reckon we'll win it. Mark?
Look, last week I've done the flip of the coin and I got Carlton. It's the first time I've actually backed Carlton for the last 3 years on this show. So I'm not going to go with them this year. Again, Port Adelaide will win. You can't beat Gold Coast at home, regardless of where you are, the position on your ladder. If you can't beat Gold Coast at Marvel or the MCG, you ain't good enough. Port Adelaide for me.
I like it. Bocek, Port Adelaide.
15 points.
Wow. All right, next. This should be easy.
Yeah, this one, bit of a nothing matchup. Hawthorn versus Melbourne. Hawthorn, like all the other teams, they need to win, keep in. And Melbourne's got nothing to play for. So Hawks, easy.
Hawks for me.
Hawthorn.
Jeez. That was very good, Mark. It sounded like my uncle.
Hawthorn.
We're all wogs, mate.
Hey, actually, my dad tells a funny story on that. He used to know a guy who used to take the train in Thornbury, and when he used to buy a ticket, he used to go, 1 ticket, Thornbury. Thank you.
Thornbury. Thank you.
1 ticket, Thornbury. Thank you. Yeah, Hawks.
Accent, boys.
We got some proud logs here. Yeah, I think everyone hogs. All right, the big game here.
This is a very big game. It's Saturday night. Adelaide versus Collingwood. Now, I know I did say at the start that Collingwood do struggle to beat top 8 teams. And this is going to be very hard against Adelaide in Adelaide. But they do have Adelaide and Collingwood have had some pretty close games, but Collingwood seem to get the wins in them. And also, Collingwood have a pretty good record at the Adelaide Oval. I don't want to do it. I feel a bit sick saying it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to tip Collingwood.
Yeah, I don't think Collingwood.
Have I gone mad?
Yeah, you got mad. I don't think they got a chance. And to tell you the truth, man, they're playing like Skaka. That's what they're doing. And yeah, I can't see them. And I know that they travel well, but have they been traveling well in recent times? You can only take recent form. And I'm going
cold. I know, but
yeah, well, you need to do something. What about you, Marco?
Yeah, I think Adelaide's giving Collingwood a big wake-up call, mate. And Juno's getting ready for that Vaseline again next week. So Adelaide will smash these geriatrics. So 35 points, Adelaide.
I like it. That's a nice thumping. Bojack?
Adelaide, but I think they're going to do it with a bit of theatre at the end. It'll be a goal in like the last minute or something, and then it'll see it out.
I reckon.
Either way, it's going to be a tight game.
No, but we said that last week.
I think it's going to be a cracker game, but yeah,
we said that last week.
I don't see it over a couple goals.
We all said that last week with Hawthorn and Collingwood, and they got smacked. The thing is, I think the worst thing that could have happened to Collingwood this week was Adelaide have that close game against West Coast, and I think they're going to come out fucking firing this week. I reckon the coach is going to get I reckon that coach will be getting into that room and saying, mate, what was that shit? If you want to win this premiership this year, I never want to see that shit again, you know? So, and at home, fuck. Adelaide could be one of the worst grounds to go to play against the side, mate. It's tough back there, yeah. So, anyway, Adelaide for me. Next. Oh, this is the game of of Sunday.
This is the battle for pick 2 or pick 3 or pick 20, whatever it ends up being after all this compromised draft crap. Look, we got pretty close to North Melbourne earlier in the year. It was another one of those games we coulda, woulda, shoulda won. It is down in Tassie, which does make it a little bit interesting. But looking at our current form, I think we're doing pretty all right. I would be disappointed if we don't win. And I actually think if I tip us, which I am, I've tipped all the rival teams for probably the first time this season.
Yes,
but of course, I'm backing my own team. Come on, Richmond.
I'm actually going to back your team. I'm going to back your team too. I'm going to go Richmond.
Absolutely, boy. Get it done.
Yeah, no, Liam, my apologies, mate, but I think Richmond have always been up and down at the moment. So I think North this week are going to get you boys by about 35 to 40 points, mate. And Tassie, they'll give you a bit of a run. I think North are ready to go, mate, not Richmond.
All right.
I hope you're wrong. But yeah.
I'll be right, mate. I'll be right. You'll be wrong.
Yeah, North Melbourne, and I think Mark's pretty spot on, but I'm going to say about 20 to 30 points.
There you go. All right. See, only me and you, Liam. Fuck them. Don't worry about them, man. Next.
One ahead of Mark. That's all. All right. This is Sydney versus Geelong at the SCG. This is another interesting one because Sydney are at home. They have been playing better. And I feel like Geelong may chill out a bit. But they've potentially got a top 2 position on the line. And if my tipping theory that I have in my head is Adelaide losing this week, that could potentially open up top spot for Geelong, if I'm not mistaken. Then they're a good team. They're professional. They get the job done.
I'm with you. Geelong will not lose this week. I don't care that Sydney pushed Brisbane. I think Geelong's going to go out there and, because they didn't play too well against Essendon either. I think they're going to go out there. And Chris Scott was not happy. He was not happy. So talk about one of those coaches who won't hold back.
Yeah.
He won't hold back this week. So Geelong for me.
Won by 7 goals or something.
Yeah. Mark?
Yeah, no, I think Geelong are a little bit weary this year, like Collingwood a little bit. So I think Sydney will win this game for some reason. I think they'll win at home.
All right. And Bojack?
Well, someone already said it in the chat, but I'm going to say it again. No Brody Grundy, Cattery to win.
Yeah, and that too, man. That's going to be tough for them. So yeah. And I said, Geelong's not too much to play.
He is out, isn't he?
Yeah. All right, and the last game. Sorry, Jezza, we're all going for the Western Bulldogs.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
West Coast
they're too good. And they have to win.
They've been tanking for 2 years.
Yeah, they'll be.
They don't get belted, but yeah, they're not getting the win.
Mark, did you tip right with Sydney versus Geelong? Are you sure?
I think Sydney will beat Geelong over there, mate. Yeah. I do. I believe it. I think Geelong, again, they're a good club and they're a good team, but
Mark, they're second on the ladder, mate. Like, what do you
Like,
mean?
yeah, Geelong's not like ninth or something.
there's nothing like West Coast really beat Adelaide, mate, and they're on top of the ladder. So
yeah.
I just believe that Sydney probably got a bit of a run on at the moment. So
Anyway,
I think
it doesn't matter what you think, because you're no chance of winning this. So here we go. Look at that. Rock's made the comeback. They're even. Stevens on the top of the ladder.
Stress is now validated.
What do you mean? I've got no chance, mate. I've got plenty of chance there, mate. I've got plenty of chance.
No chance, man. You got no chance of winning this, man.
Essendon will win. Carlton will lose. What else have we got here?
What,
Actually,
Sydney
the
will
tips
win?
were a little bit all over the
Sydney will
place.
win.
Yeah, they were. So this is going to be an interesting the round before the last round. So yeah, so this will be interesting. But I'm pretty proud. I think I made about a 10-point comeback, and Liam too has made a fantastic comeback.
How many tips did I get last week?
7.
What was I on? I thought I was on 115 last week.
No, you weren't on 115. Let me check. Were you on 115 last week?
Yeah.
I can check.
No.
Let's go to the CCTV.
No, put me on the bottom.
I can do a quick
I think
check.
I was on 115 and
have a
you
look.
were on 118.
All right, let's have a
And if
look.
we both got 7.
I've got it here.
Liam, that 5 could look like a 3 if you're drunk. Was that the case?
I will check for a second.
I'm not 5 tips behind Rocco. And if I got 7 again.
Rocco? I was on 118. Why is it?
Yeah. All right. Everyone's now fucking doing everyone's like a million fucking votes. Shut up.
Mate, I told you boys, I'm getting serious.
Come on, Liam, mate. Come on. What are you? You're always on the bottom, mate. Like Richmond, mate. Just let it go, man. Just move on. Don't worry about it.
Someone said Carlton's cheating again.
I'm not a liar.
I'm just going through. Let me just.
You're tanking, mate. You're tanking, Liam, mate. You're tanking.
I'm trying to check as well, but
what was it? Round 20. What was it? Round. Where is it, man? I usually keep them. So you just chat between you boys.
Yeah, just Liam. It's all right. You know what is it? You were saying you're 118, were you? Or 117?
No, I was on 115.
You 115, and you got 7. You got 7 last week, did you? Did you back Richmond last week?
122, if that's the case.
I did. I missed out on Richmond. I missed out on Brisbane, I believe.
Yeah, you got 7.
Yeah, I've got videos. I got them here. Manny was on 120, Rocco's 118, Mark was 116, and I was 115.
Oh, were you? I can't find it, man. But I'm gonna believe you.
This is serious, boys.
This is serious.
All right. If that's the case, then you're on 122. All right, cool. All right. I don't know what happened there.
Mark's disappointed with that.
Yeah, I'm disappointed, mate. I'm disappointed.
I'm going to read
to the group chat, boys.
There's another 2 more rounds to go, mate.
There's 2 more rounds to go. So 122, 122, 125, 125. So really, in actual fact, the way Liam has been tipping this week, it is anyone's game.
Yeah. It's all over the place.
It sounds like we've all got a lot of different tips. I don't know.
Yeah, this week is a lot.
I'll either end up 5 behind, or I'll go ahead. That's what'll happen.
And it's going to be crucial, It's going to be crucial, Rocco, because next week, the tips, the week after that is just one game on a Wednesday night, which we're on live. So we've got to do the Essendon and Gold Coast tip as well next week.
Sure.
Yeah, we've got to do it next week.
It's going to be crucial who gets out of the top 8 there. You know, it's going to be crucial. The tip is going to be crucial.
Can I tip early on that one? I want to tip Gold Coast.
We're all going to tip next week. So anyway, I can't find it, but I can check later on. All good. All right, let's go because people are now just thinking, what the fuck's going on here? Right?
That's it, mate.
All right, it's been a big fucking night, man. I'm so tired now. So
Where did 3 hours go? That was quick as.
that was quick as. So that was really good. Just make sure that you catch all of us on this one here. Grab your tickets here for Remix Mania on the 29th. So make sure you get your tickets there. Links are below. Get down there. We'll all be down there. It's at la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. And then you're going to grab your tickets for the live show. Yeah. So the tickets are selling. A whole heap of tickets sold tonight. So we're really on target. They are starting to go. So grab your tickets. Links are below. You got FEVOLA, Scotland, and Pierce. You got all of us are going to be up on stage. You got Monday Blues. You got food. You got drinks. What else do you want? It's all going to be good. And that's it. Thanks for everyone in the chat. Thanks everyone that's joined. Thanks everyone in the chat. Thanks for no regrets. You are a good laugh. Yeah. You'll be going to sleep with me on your mind tonight, and that makes me feel good. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to your teams. And that's about it. All I can say is I'll leave you with this last promo, but go.
1 second.
Go.
Next face you're going to see on the channel. Watch along on Saturday.
Oh, yes. Sorry. So definitely Saturday. So Saturday, the watch along. If you can't go to the game, there'll be a watch along it'll probably start at about 1 o'clock, 10 past 1 or something.
Yeah.
Get on. He's also got the $20 AFL voucher for some lucky person in the chat. So
and that's going to be easy as hell to enter as well.
Yeah.
So.
And it's always good, man. And as I said, man, if you're not going to the game, get on. You can watch the game and you can have a chat with Bocek. And it's always pretty good, man. We have a good chat on there. I usually get on from the game and I start to get into the chat too. I'll let you know what's going on live.
I'm keeping you entertained while you're bored with Carlton.
I'm telling you, last week I turned them up and I got on board. I was bored at the game. Do you believe it? Also, and then straight after that, if you're interested, the emergency meeting is on. So
that's lunchtime. No, that's like a late lunch emergency meeting.
Yeah, it's probably start about 5, and we'll talk a bit of shit about Carlton.
Dinner.
That's always good. It's the fan cams. It's the fan cams with balls. That's what I'm going to name it from now on. Fan cams with balls.
Nice.
So make sure you get on there. Thanks, Markov. Thanks, Liam. Thanks, Bocek.
Thank you to everyone.
And go the Mighty Blues.
And the Bombers!